The Hawks are hot. We welcome you to McKeon Park, where the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have won 5 of their last 6 games. They welcome a Chatham team that will bring them a bit of a challenge, but it's going to be tough for any team who faces the Hyannis Harbor Hawks right now. So happy to have you with us along here at McKeon Park alongside Jacob Byrons and Mickey Doolittle. My name is Michael Kirsting. And guys, like I just said, the Hawks are hot. Something about those orange jerseys, guys. It seemed to have kicked a little bit of life into them. A big win away last night against Brewster.
Yeah, big win when you looked at it there, Michael. They looked strong and they looked ready to go in those situations. That's what you were really excited about when you saw a team. It was a complete performance. You look at hitting from the start of the game to the final out. They were hitting the ball really well, made strong contact throughout the night. And that's what you got to ask for a lineup that really has changed over once they toss those uniforms on. It's been contact and getting runs across.
Yeah, and they've made a couple of adjustments to the lineup. They've added some guys that have more back control. It's not that much all or nothing anymore with this Hyannis team. Zach York being one of those guys. Just back control, back control, back control. They're able to hit the ball wherever they want to and control the strike zone, be able to take pitches that are 50-50 on the edge of the strike zone. And that's been something Hyannis has been missing, it feels like, for a lot of this year. They've been kind of, when it rains, it pours, a lot of the power-centered numbers that come along with a lot of strikeouts. So it's a lot of fun to watch a much more balanced Hyannis lineup, and I think that's what's really been mainly responsible for this winning streak.
Yeah, you just mentioned, Mick, Zach York has been a revelation since coming into the lineup because we've seen his professionalism at the plate. He can take balls to any part of the field. He's been a real spray chart kind of guy, and it seems like it's gotten to be a little bit contagious in the lineup.
It really has. When you look at, that's what makes this team so special, is that hitting is contagious. When the first guy's hitting, then the second guy's hitting, and when the third guy's hitting, the fourth guy's hitting, and then you can do it as your health at home if you want to keep the rhyme going. But really, in that situation, it's contagious, and when you have every ounce of your lineup hitting, that's what makes Hyannis so deadly right now, is that pitchers going up against them, the 9-hole hitter is just as good as your first hole and your cleanup hitter to be able to get a hit. So that's what you love about this lineup, is that when you're in the opposing dugout, you can never take a breath against this lineup right now.
And we've said hitting is contagious all year long, but I feel like with this new Hyannis lineup, its hitting is contagious still, but it's a little less inconsistent. It's all throughout the game, and we saw complete effort at Brewster last night, so it's been a much better lineup, much more balanced, and again, hitting is still contagious, but it's consistent across all 9 innings now.
And taking a look at the book now, we see a few returners to the lineup that we will detail once we go through the whole lineup. But you would say, we'll talk about one guy in particular now, that it'll be a very welcome addition to see Nick Mitchell back in that leadoff spot.
Yeah, Nick Mitchell back in that leadoff spot. Is excited to have him back. He's a true leadoff guy that really brings in that speed. Leads in second in the league and leads the team in triples with 3. So that is a guy that's got speed. And he was able to win that game. When you talk about that big victory, you're able to steal bases, be in position, and that's huge.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Being able to steal the base and then force the bad throw a couple of nights ago against YD. It was a great effort, and then eventually Austin Kelly able to sacrifice fly him in as the winning run. The Cardiac Hawks, as we call them, winning all these close games. They're 6-2 in one-run games now. A really fun team to watch, and Nick Mitchell brings a whole nother level of excitement.
Yeah, that YD game, guys, it seems like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, you may not be so sure if they're winning that. You can tell that there's a whole new identity to this team, but something that has been consistent all season long is the pitching. We talk about it every game, and it's going to be electric. Again, we saw Jack O'Connor give a really solid 2 1/3 scoreless innings last time out. You'll expect more of the same from him again here tonight.
Yeah, you look continuously when you're able to get those and have strong starting pitching. That is what matters time and time again, because you're being able to put yourself in ball games. That's huge.
Yeah, and controlling the strike zone is going to be key tonight against a Chatham team that feels a little bit rejuvenated as of recently. They've strung together a couple of nicely played games, so it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Don't let the Chatham record fool you. They're a good team that feels rejuvenated.
Yeah, that's something you can't do in this league, is take any team lightly, because as soon as you get one, you feel yourself string things together. We've seen it with Falmouth. We'll talk about them in the standings, that they're now back right up in the race into the playoff spots. And something in Hyannis is that they seem pretty rejuvenated themselves, finally stringing everything together. The pitching has been there. Sometimes we haven't seen the hitting as much on certain days, but this has been a about a 5-6 game stretch that everything has seemed to be working all together, guys.
Yeah, everything seems to be working. You look at Hyannis right now, they're a complete team. That's what you like to see in your baseball teams, is that you look at the defensive, their fielding percentage went up, which is huge. Then you look, and then your hitting goes up. You're now 4th in the league in batting average. Then you look at your ERA, which was at the top of the league, struggled there for a little bit in that stretch to end June, and now is starting to make its resurgence back up. So really everything's starting together right now in this middle month of July, and it's exciting if they can keep on this pace where they're going to be at the end of July.
And you mentioned batting average and Hyannis able to shoot up the leaderboards on that. They've been at the top of the leaderboards in slugging all year long. It's been a lot of fun. They've put on a power display in the last couple of weeks. Maybe not as much home run power, but more gap-to-gap power. A lot of extra base hits come along with this team.
And yeah, we're speaking of pitching, the 4th member of our team, Bria Losick, stands by with last night's starter, Bradley Hodges.
From McKeon Park. Park, I'm Bria Losick alongside Bradley Hodges. Pre-game here, Bradley, you were on the bump last night, went 4 strong innings, and how are you feeling on the mound?
I was feeling pretty good. Had a strong defense behind me, making some great plays, so it was a good game.
You roll with a 3-pitch mix. Which one was really working last night?
I was able to land all of them in the zone, but the curveball was a big pitch for me last night. Had that in plus and behind counts, so it was a good time to use that.
And then today is kind of an off day since you started yesterday. No, you're not going. What's your routine during an off day?
Well, I'll just throw. I'll stretch out a little bit, and then cheer on my teammates. Cheer on Jack today. He's on the bump.
Yeah, Jack O'Connor, also from UVA. What's it like playing up here with him?
It's a great time. I mean, it's a good transition straight from UVA just to come play summer ball with a guy like him, and we spend a lot of time together, so it's a good transition.
Okay, now stay with me here on this one. Your parents own a blueberry farm, okay? Blueberries, you can use them to make jam. What is your pregame jam?
Probably Biana by Baker Matt.
Never heard of it, but I'll have to take a listen.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, thank you so much, Bradley. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you very much, Bria. Well-deserved off day for Bradley Hodges. And he hands the ball over tonight to, as we talked about, his Virginia Cavaliers teammate, Jack O'Connor. It's going to be a big one tonight. If he comes through, should be a pretty good one, straightforward one, as we'll look to see a repeat performance of last time, guys.
Yeah, Jack O'Connor last time. I think you had an emphasis on Jack O'Connor when you talked about it. You looked at his college numbers. They were there. You were wondering if they would be able to come to Cape Cod with him, and sure, he packed them. They went in the carry-on luggage, and they came with them because these are stellar numbers right now, and he is finding himself. He's just pitching strong. He is pitching to that zone and continues to attack the zone, and that's his big thing.
Yeah, and it's huge if Hyannis has found themselves another starter that can give them 4 or 5 innings a game.
Yeah, so, and we'll get to the game right after this, but before I talk to Coach B.J. Johnson in the dugout, we'll send it down to past me. Hey, everybody, welcome down to the third base side here at McKeon Park. Dugout Showtime, joined with Coach B.J. Johnson. So, Coach, big win on the road last night. Safe to say the Hawks are hot after a 7-3 victory last night at Brewster.
Very, very nice. I mean, a really pretty complete game. I mean, one thing that I think you guys probably love, because you guys are like always doing like this cardiac Hawks thing, is we kind of ran from ahead, got tied, and then just kind of had kind of a very, very functional and good game. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
Now guys are hitting me with shells.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they want to get in on the action. Drew Earhart always does. So you talk about playing from in front. It's something that we haven't seen as much from the Hawks, but how important is it at certain games and at certain points in games to be playing from in front?
Well, I think in the Cape, if you get a great start from your starter, which we did yesterday, it just makes everything easier. The games are shortened, and then it's like our offense has been, I think, outstanding maybe not under duress situations, but when they absolutely had to make something happen, they've done a great job. So a lot of times hopefully you're not too far behind when they had to do that. We've done a couple of those which get us the cardiac nickname. But last night, I thought it was great. I mean, we just responded, we hit, great. And Zach had that huge 2-run home run, which basically made the thing really, really padded, and we were going to be fine.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot more of a representative result after Zach Earhart's 2-run home run last night. Now, you guys have won 5 of the last 6. Safe to say that there was a bit of magic in those orange jerseys. We're seeing to finally see the team put it all together at the same time. What can you credit this team with doing since you guys switched to the orange jerseys?
Well, I think the one thing is they have played, I think, really hard all year, and I don't think that's any change. I think sometimes if you do a little bit of a thing that just kind of gets people jazzed up, maybe a little bit more enthusiastic, it might be a point of difference for you. So, we've tried that. Like tonight, obviously, we're going to honor, the military with our red jerseys, but the oranges will come out pretty quickly.
Red hot or orange hot? Safe to say that the Harbor Hawks are hot. They go for their 6th win in 7 games right after this.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor.
It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
We welcome you back to McKeon Park. It's always a party here at McKeon Park. The atmosphere has been nice. It's been a good one. And as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks come out in their Friday Reds, they look to continue the party. And we have said Jack O'Connor's name quite a few times. He is our starting pitcher tonight. How about we take a look at what he has done this season so far?
Yeah, let's take a look. The guy from Arlington, Virginia, and the University of Virginia, Jack O'Connor, has been really great on the bump. Last one coming against Brewster here, that 7-4 victory. 3 1/3 innings pitched was the big one. And only didn't give up an earned run, only gave up 2 hits through 3 1/3. But his biggest thing is, through talking to him, he loves being with Hodges, having his fellow teammate here through the process of being 2 Cavaliers here on Cape Cod together and able to work through it and have that experience together is huge for them.
Yeah, Hodges, a guy that's going to throw his fastball maybe in the low 90s, maybe sometimes touching the high 80s, but he's got a fastball, curveball, slider, changeup combination, a true starting pitcher, a guy that can go deep into games, maybe won't go as deep into games out here on Cape, but certainly a guy that was more than up to the task against these Chatham Anglers.
Yeah, how nice must it be for guys to have teammates? And now with O'Connor coming in a little bit later than Hodges, Hodges can help him work through, and that has to be a credit to Bradley Hodges, who we saw really good last night, and Jack O'Connor's been stellar. That's got to be something where the two of them have to be working together on it.
Yeah, Cavaliers stick together.
Yeah.
Wahoo, wahoo,
wahoo,
as they say down there. So they are excited and they are ready to go here
Is that
tonight.
actually what they say?
Yeah,
I think
it's their
yeah.
slogan.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we're just about ready to get underway from McKeon Park, as it's a really nice crowd on hand. The rain went away, the field was tended to, and just in time as well, as we are ready for baseball here with a full bleacher on the third base side for McKeon Park. J.J. Weatherholt will lead us off here at McKeon. He digs into the lefty's batter's box. He is ready. Jack O'Connor from the windup toes the slab, and he is ready. It's time for baseball on a Friday night. It's the Anglers, it's the Hawks, and it is live from McKeon Park. The first pitch swung on and missed, strike one. We are underway. First pitch time 7:04 p.m. here in Hyannis, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. As here is O'Connor's 0-1. Such easy power from Jack O'Connor. He misses low with the fastball. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, first pitch was delayed by about an hour today, pushed back because of the rain, as that one's fouled back. But the rain coming in pretty strong in the afternoon made this field pretty wet, but they did a good job of recovering it, putting down some extra dirt, and getting us ready to play.
And getting ready to punch out J.J. Weatherholt. One batter and one strikeout. Jack O'Connor picking up right back where he left off.
Yeah, but O'Connor will go up against this lineup here for Chatham. J.J. Weatherholt leads it off. Caden Kent behind him. Nolan Schubert, Trace Wilhoit, Zach McDonald, Aiden Miola, Hudson White, Martin Gruds, Bryce, second baseman, and Derek Fabian round things out for the Anglers today at the plate.
So up steps Caden Kent. First pitch is chopped weakly to the right side, fielded by York. He flips to O'Connor, who missed the bag. He thought he was maybe a step or two closer, and it allows Caden Kent to reach on weak contact.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward play there. York came off the bag pretty far. It kind of looked like O'Connor was going to try and field it, but instead he was going to go over to the first base bag and was just unable to get his foot down on it. Very tough play. You have to really have great spatial awareness to do that. As we look at the Hyannis defense from left to right in the outfield, Lipsy, Earhart, Taylor, and on the infield it's Smith, Hainline, Snow, and York, and Brody Donay back behind the plate, putting down the signs tonight.
First pitch dunks into Nolan Schubert for strike one. Also see Nick Mitchell back in the lineup. He will be doing the designated hitting tonight. Seen a multitude of center fielders this season for Hyannis, each playing the position with the utmost of excellence. As here's the 0-1. It's inside. So now it'll be interesting to see here in the first inning, a bit of a mental lapse from O'Connor to see how he rebounds and responds. We've seen the first inning be tough on Hyannis pitching so far this season. 1-1 swung on and missed. 1-2 the count on Schubert.
Schubert comes in from Oklahoma State for this Anglers team, batting .223 up here on Cape Cod with a homer and 8 RBIs to his name.
It'll be a 1-2 to the left fielder, just outside. 2-2 the count. Brody Donay also back behind the plate after missing a few games, was held down nicely by Aaron Parker.
And watch Hainline here. He's going to take a couple more steps to shade over by that second base bag.
Up the middle, and Hainline's fielded it perfectly. Flip on for one. Snow cannot complete the relay, but that's a really clean play by Hainline to lead Snow into the flip. He steps on second to get the force and not quite able to finish off the double play, but good awareness from Snow to know that Hainline was going to flip that on.
Yeah, and we talked about this defense starting to figure it out the other day. The 2 double plays turned yesterday, and today nearly another one. It's been a defense that kind of had to figure it out after the first couple of weeks of the year, but they've done a great job at really, with these new pieces coming in, adjusting and cleaning some stuff up.
First pitch to Trace Wilhoit was served down the right field line and foul. Quickly ahead, 0-1 is O'Connor.
That's good. That was good. Yeah, perfect. And part of that fielding adjustment is being comfortable with your guys and getting to know them and how they like to play.
Pitch is low, 1-1 the count. Chatham sits in last place in the East Division of the Cape Cod Baseball League. We'll detail the standings in just a little bit. 1-1 is outside. 2-1 the count on Will Hoyt.
When you were on camera, I wasn't even switching to this hardly at all, so I was going straight to you.
O'Connor sets and deals off speed, falls in. Count runs even at 2-2.
Yeah, nice curveball there. He's going to use that against righties about a little bit north of 8% of the time. Typically, righties aren't ready to see that, but when he does pull it out, it's a good pitch.
Here's the 2-2 from O'Connor. It's a high fly ball to left. Over is Lipsy, a few steps in front of the track, settles under it, backs up, and puts away out number 3. So O'Connor works around his mental error and strands one. After a half, Chatham nothing, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks coming to bat.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
There you see Nick Mitchell as we welcome you into the bottom of the first. He leads off a lineup that looks like this.
Yeah, Nick Mitchell back in the lineup, DHing today, but hitting first out of Western Illinois. Zach Earhart, the red-hot hitters playing center field out of Oklahoma State, hits second. Cam Smith, another red-hot Hyannis Harbor Hawk. The Hawks are hot after all. He's from Florida State and hits third. Zach York, a new addition to the lineup from a couple of days ago, continues to make appearances in the lineup tonight, hitting fourth. Will Taylor out of Clemson hits fifth and plays right field. Elijah Hainline plays short out of Washington State and hits sixth. Brody Donay makes a return to the lineup. He's got a 9-game home hitting streak. He catches from Virginia Tech. Eric Snow from University of Southern Florida plays second base and hits eighth. And Trey Lipsy, who's been getting on base a lot recently, hits ninth and rounds out the lineup. He's playing left field.
And that's the lineup that'll face Tanner Witt on for his third start of the or his third appearance of the season. Both have been starts. Both have been short starts, as we tend to see on the Cape. Trying to work the bullpen a little bit. So he's worked 5 innings in his 2 appearances, and up steps number 3. And his first batter of start number 3 will be Nick Mitchell.
Matt, you got a haircut.
Mitchell had missed a few games, but back in the designated hitter spot and back in the spot that he took as his own in the leadoff spot. As here is the first pitch. It's chopped foul. Piece of the bat went flying.
First pitch, first
Yeah.
broken bat there. And that one isn't the traditional broken bat where it splits right down the middle. It's literally the top of the barrel that came off there and just chipped away at it. It's got to go to the dugout to get a new piece of the bat. Didn't even travel that far. That just sits right in the grass.
Yeah, wasted no time needing some new lumber. It's an interesting looking windup from Tanner Witt. He hunches over and gives a big leg kick as well. A bit of herk and jerk to Tanner Witt's wind.
Some great stirrups as well.
Mm-hmm. We've been seeing the stirrup game has been real strong from
Resurgence.
all teams on the Cape, and I'm here for it. I absolutely love it.
Well, at any level, we've seen the stirrups kind of make a return to the baseball fashion.
So now back underway. New piece of lumber for Nick Mitchell. It'll be an 0-1 after he fouled the first pitch off. He sees it go up and away.
Pitch at 90 miles an hour from Witt on his fastball. It is really dominant. If it's there and it's in the zone, it's going to be really hard to hit for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, guy who throws fastball, curveball, changeup.
Now, did that get him or the bat? Judging by Mitchell staying in the box, looks like it got the knob of his bat, and the count is 1-2.
Against lefties like Mitchell, he'll throw that fastball about 50% of the time, and then curveball and changeup about even outside of that.
It'll be a 1-2 to the Indiana commit. He comes inside, and that one hit him, no doubt. Give me the count, boys.
39.
39th hit pitch on the season for Hyannis. And once again, The Hyannis Harborhawks getting on in any way they can. Speed on first brings up Zach Earhart.
And Zach Earhart brings a lot of great versatility, but let's take a look at how Chatham situates themselves defensively here tonight.
It'll be Schubart, McDonald, and Kent left to right in the outfield. Miola, Fabian, Martin, wow, that's a tough one. I didn't realize it was that long. And Will Hoyt will go from third to first as there goes Mitchell on the first pitch. Throw down, not even close. And he stays on the bag. And it's a stolen base for Mitchell, wasting absolutely no time, getting himself into scoring position.
And there's the chaos that we see him create on the base pass. This is why he's in that leadoff spot, is to get on. He's a high OBP guy. He can get on and just start running all over defenses.
And now that adds that opportunity here now with Earhart, who has the ability to be a small ball hitter as well as really true power, as you saw with his home run.
The 1-0 to Earhart, smoked out to center field and deep, but right there settling under it is McDonald. Mitchell tags, aggressive send, but he comes in sliding into third safely, which sets up Cam Smith with a runner on third. A fly ball will score the game's first run.
That's a huge sacrifice out there from Earhart, and now you're already breathing down the Anglers' neck after they were able to get a win yesterday in big fashion. They want to be able to try and temper their momentum here a little bit, and the best way possible is to get at them early and strike first, and we talk about it. It's being able and being potent early in these games.
So up stands Cam Smith. Bit of Katuitt Kettleers-esque baseball from Nick Mitchell. Aggressive on the base pass and only a fly ball, which Cam Smith has been great at doing this season, will score the game's first run. Nice aggressive work as he took the first pitch high.
Yeah, it looked like a take all the way situation there for Cam Smith. He barely moved that bat off his shoulder.
The 1-0 to the sweet swing and Seminole is fouled off.
Alliteration right there. 3 S's in a row, Michael.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Sweet swinging Seminole.
It's my favorite.
He has been great. He's on an 18-game on-base streak so far this summer.
Hitting .323 coming into today's contest. The 1-1 is the off-speed, and it misses high. 2-1 the count on Cam Smith.
Yeah, Smith really swinging it well recently. He's got a ton of pop in his bat. Currently, there's a log jam for second in the league in home runs at 4, and he's within that group of players.
Sees the 2-1 dunk in, and the count is even at 2.
Yeah, breaking ball at 75 miles an hour that comes inside on Smith. Understanding he's playing to his zone right now, especially early in this game, trying to establish Joe Cruz, who's behind the plate, his zone.
True Jeter at bat here from Cam Smith. As here's the 2-2. Nice defensive swing on the outer half. He fouls it off and stays alive.
It was a fastball at 89 on the outer third of the plate. You really have to be taking an opposite field approach to drive that one, but you can still get extended on it and hit it hard. And Smith nearly did that, fouling it directly back to the screen.
Fly ball scores the game's first run here in the bottom of the first as the 2-2 is taken outside. Another nice disciplined take on the curveball, and the count runs full on Smith.
Yeah, you said it. Good take on a really nice curveball that skipped in there. Typically, Witt is going to throw fastball, curveball to righties, but will occasionally mix in that changeup.
Here's the payoff. It's a fly ball to right field. This should get it done. Settling under it and making the catch is Kent. The throw home is offline. Mitchell scores. It's a sac fly for Cam Smith. Nick Mitchell back in the lineup and doing his job as leadoff hitter. 1-0 Hyannis in the bottom of the first.
And that's a run without a hit. That is complete manufacture. You look, it's a stolen base, and sacrifice gets Mitchell home. And that's the beauty of it. They want to start these games off hot, and they want to start out in front. And how do you do that? Manufacture runs if you're given that opportunity. Mitchell hit by a pitch, and then the rest, Harbor Hawks are running with it.
13th run batted in of the year for Cam Smith, a guy that's come through in clutch situations all year.
First pitch to Zach York is upstairs. And you want to talk about the 3-4 punch of Smith and York as you see his numbers early in a young season for him. He has just looked, the both of them, such professional hitters already, both of them finishing up freshman seasons. and showing out, bringing their talents up to the Cape as the 1-0 is upstairs. Professional hitting there from Cam Smith, by the way, to shorten up, knows that he can elevate the ball and takes it out to right field, knowing with the speed that Nick Mitchell possesses, it won't take much to score him. Here's the 2-0. He sees strike one down the middle as York disagrees with the call.
It was fastball, a bit above the letters, but
hitting that upper part of the zone right there, especially on York, a taller individual, expanding that zone.
2-1 dunks in, count even at 2.
Yeah, that's a really good curveball. Outer third of the plate. If you're swinging at that and you're trying to crush it, you're probably going to roll it over to the right side of the infield.
And it comes in at 67 miles per hour is what the radar gun showed.
2-2 runs inside, so good disciplined at bat here from York. There we go. Nice bit of airplane action over McKeon Park, the airport here on Cape Cod, just a few minutes away down the road.
Yeah, Barnstable Airport, one of the larger airports on Cape Cod.
Here's the payoff to Zach York to see if he can take lift off. He fouls it third base side. Giving it a look is Miola towards the railing, and he makes a good play to stay concentrated. But the Harbor Hawks take the lead on a Cam Smith sac fly manufactured by Nick Mitchell. We're through 1-0 Hawks.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Jack O'Connor back out for his second inning of work, but first, we remind you that the lights at McKeon Park stay bright all season long thanks to the NAC Cape Cod. The NAC offers 2 locations, both one in Hyannis and one in Orleans, both offering delicious burgers, tacos, sandwiches, and more. Visit thenacapecod.com to order online today. The NAC Cape Cod is proud to be the Light Up the Park sponsor of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks all season long. And guys, me, producer Grant McNew, and producer Nico Sharp went to the NAC Cape Cod after our little baseball outing a few days ago. Let me tell you about their mocha shake. Is absolutely to die for.
I think we're noticing a trend with the NAC. Their shakes are
oh my
good.
Word. I had their chocolate shake a few times ago, and I saw that mocha and was like, I gotta get it next. So Jack O'Connor works a hitless first as the little ground ball that he missed first onto Caden Kent was ruled an error. That's a tough error.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where you kind of get caught fielding the ball from your first baseman, that little underhand toss from your first baseman at a weird angle. It's really hard to fault him for that one.
Yeah, tough call on him. He got out of it unscathed, though. First pitch to Zach McDonald, fouled at the plate.
And he got the contact that he wanted. He got a little bit of a rollover to the right side of the infield. So all throughout that first inning, he did a good job of locating, keeping his pitches on the edges.
0-1 outside. As it's on the ground to short, Hainline fields and throws across, dug out by York, but he couldn't keep it in his glove. So McDonald reaches, so second time Hyannis has allowed a runner to reach at first. We'll see how they rule it. It's ruled an E3. So 2 errors in as many innings for Hyannis. That one a little less tough. As McDonald reaches, that brings up Aiden Miola.
Yeah, Hyannis, middle of the pack in errors right now. That's number 33 and 34 on the year for them. But certainly a team, again, we talked about in the first inning that has started to figure it out defensively. You can't let those mistakes start to seep in again.
And you can't let them compile on each other, because sometimes, especially, you see it where an error leads to a second error. You just got to stay within yourself and keep playing the game that you intended to.
First pitch was outside to Miola. So time for O'Connor to bear down again. Did so last inning. As he catches the plate on the 1-0. Count is 1-1.
Yeah, O'Connor is just a steady pitcher. He's a steady presence for this team, and he's a calming presence. When he's on that mound, he is ready to go.
It's in the dirt, and Donet cannot find it. That allows McDonald to advance to second. And now runner in scoring position with nobody out, with Miola at the dish.
Yeah, Donet put in a little bit of a tough spot right there, trying to block it, in a good heads-up advancement from McDonald. He was looking like he was ready to go, but didn't end up trying to take off for second immediately, and was definitely ready for that wild pitch.
2-1 gets the outside corner. Quickly 2-2.
He's using that curveball against righties a lot more than he usually does, so I wonder if he sees something here with Chatham.
Here's the 2-2. It's a high fly ball as Earhart backs up to make the play, and he fires in and shows off his really good arm. Good thing McDonald doesn't go. He's a sitting duck if he does. So a big first out for O'Connor to get Miola. That brings up the catcher, Hudson White.
Yeah, perfectly located fastball up and in, just jammed him there and got him to get weak contact out towards center.
And whenever the ball is hit to Earhart in a sacrifice opportunity, it is a blinking red, in my opinion. It's not quite yellow, but it is a blinking red where you got to be the best of the best speed-wise to be able to try and beat him out. And it's also going to require a bad throw, which doesn't happen all that often from Earhart in center.
Good pitch on the curve from O'Connor, 0-1. He was ranked the number 15 right-handed pitcher in the country coming into this year, and the number 58 overall, as the 0-1 is fouled away.
He's doing a good job of putting that fastball in the inner third of the plate, jamming these hitters. Typically, when you see those fastballs inside, located well, it's such a hard pitch to hit because you need to start your swing so early for those inside pitches, not to mention a fastball.
He's got him to roll over. Smith checks the runner back to second and fires to first. Really good work by Cam Smith to keep Zach McDonald at second base, and there are now 2 away.
That is beautifully executed for a ball that goes directly over to Smith, because you saw McDonald, who's starting to etch off of second base a little bit, but he looks directly eyes on eyes, eye contact with McDonald, gives him the death stare, makes him retreat, and then goes over to first to be able to get out White. Great defensive play there from Smith, understanding his defensive position with the runner in that.
First pitch to Bryce Martin, fouled into the screen.
Yeah, that fastball trickled out over the plate a little bit. Lucky to get that one back.
So the runner in McDonald stays on second. It'll be an 0-1 to Martin.
USC Trojan, there you saw his shin guard.
I couldn't read it upside down. I was relying on you guys for that one, so thank you for picking me up on it. One of quite a few guys, Johnny Olmstead, having gotten drafted from Orleans, also part of USC. Here's the 1-1 in on the hands. It's so nice to see the pipelines that some of these schools are creating. Florida State with Cam Smith, Jamie Arnold just here, along with quite a few other of their teammates, USC being another one. Northeastern, yep. That's just with the Harbor Hawks. Quite a few pipelines. A 2-1 hits off of O'Connor. It'll trickle up the line. He got in his way, did O'Connor. But Martin hustles out, beats it out, and because O'Connor couldn't field the ball. Well, now they're going to call him out. Think they're going to say that Martin interfered with O'Connor getting to the ball, and that in a very different way, in a very weird way, is going to end the inning. They're going to talk about it between the first base coaches and the umpires. As let's take another look here. Shot off of O'Connor. It's right there. It looked like O'Connor had gotten to the ball first, so they're going to say that Martin interfered with O'Connor. As while the umpires discuss this, we'll go to a short break because it seems like we'll be sending us to the bottom of the second after 1.5, 1-0 Hyannis.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why'd he sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
So to the bottom of the second we go. It was an interesting play in the way that it ended it, as Bryce Martin was called out on interference. Looked like he had just gotten in the way of Jack O'Connor.
Yeah, Martin Grudzelanek there in that situation is called on batter's interference. You get 3 feet either direction, and because the ball is in that situation, he is intended at that spot as the runner to step away from the baseline and away from the foul line to allow the play to be made defensively and not try and be an impeding factor. He there is called by Joe Cruz, the home plate umpire, as an impeding factor to make the play for O'Connor to get him out in that situation, getting the third out. And we're into the bottom of the second.
Well, great job by Jack O'Connor to be able to get himself in there as well as get himself out of a potentially sticky situation. As it'll be Taylor, Hainline, and Donay for Hyannis. The first pitch is checked into the screen by Will Taylor. Taylor having just committed the rest of his Clemson education to baseball full-time. Will not play football for Dabo Sweeney next year. 0-1 plunks him, and there we are, number 40 on the season in terms of hit by pitches for Hyannis. So their leadoff runner reaches on hit by pitch for the second straight inning. That brings up Elijah Hainline.
And now Taylor is tied with Ferrer, second in the league with 7 hit by pitches. Came in that third spot with 6. He's a man that finds a way to get on in big spots as well anyway.
Hyannis is coming to try and fill up that leaderboard and hit by pitches.
First pitch to Elijah Hainline as there goes Taylor on the first pitch. It's outside, down is Taylor, and they got him. So despite the low throw, good recovery from Mason White behind the plate to catch Taylor stealing.
Yeah, it was a good pitch to throw out a runner on, and a good throw from White was able to give McDonald a chance at tagging him, Fabian, to give him a chance at tagging him, reach across there. A good pick from him and able to tag him out.
Sure looked close. Bang, bang play. Down goes Taylor as the pitch to Hainline is upstairs.
And the beauty of that play there is Fabian isn't afraid to leave the bag there. He's able to come in front of the bag, understanding that he can get back over to the tag.
Here's the 2-0. Dunks in for strike one. On deck is Brody Donay, who missed the last few games. Back behind the dish. As here is the 2-1. Catches the outside corner again. Hainline doesn't like it. But still early in the game, as you guys mentioned, home plate umpire Joe Cruz establishing his strike zone as long as you continue it through.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit pregame. Joe Cruz, a guy that has had a pretty consistent zone throughout this year. One of the better umpires here on Cape.
The 2-2 to Hainline in the dirt. Count runs full. Of course you want the strikes to be called, but I think players do care more too about consistency, because at least if it's getting called somewhere, at least you know that's where it can be and that's where you can attack. So it'll be a 3-2 to Hainline, who does have good plate discipline. Here's the payoff, and it's slapped foul. We'll do it again.
Nicely located fastball down and away there. We'll see if he comes back with that curve. He hasn't quite thrown it yet.
Here's your umpire tonight, Joseph Giasio. Over at first base, home plate umpire Joe Cruz. Marvick Gomez, the third base umpire, as you see him talking to Eric Beatty.
Payoff to Hainline is high, so he walks. So 2 hit by pitches and now a base on balls. Hyannis has had 3 base runners and has scored a run as well, but yet no hits.
Now there's 9 ways to get to first base.
Yep.
Can Hyannis find a way to do them all tonight? And they're starting to look like it. They got a hit by pitch and they got a walk, 2 very different things. And
Chatham's figured out the error part.
Yeah.
Is it 9? I thought it was 7.
9. I'm pretty sure there's 9 because I think they, depending on who you talk, intentional walk will be different sometimes in who the conversation is.
Okay.
Barry Bonds probably thinks the intentional walk is different than a walk.
Yeah. And now there goes Hainline on the first pitch, and it's a shot out to left center field and deep. Back it goes and gone. Welcome back, Brody Donay. His first pitch since returning to the Hyannis lineup is a bullet. He was going on the first pitch, was Hainline, but why not slow him down a little bit? A 2-run shot for Brody Donay. Hyannis quickly out to a 3-0 lead.
Big home run here. It's up in the zone. He goes up to grab it, and that thing's scorching. That's on I-95 flying down by New York City. It's probably all the way to Philadelphia at this point. This thing left that park so quickly. Brody Donay on the exit velocity will have to get that from the TrackMan in Synergy Systems because, man, oh, man, that thing was moving.
And now that extends Donay's.
Snow grounds it to second, and Martin puts it away for out number 2.
It extends Donay's home hitting streak to 10 games.
And how? Yeah, you said it. I want to see the exit velo on that. That ball was hit so hard it barely even was falling on the way out. That's just a simple line drive, but he got it just high enough that it clears. It might have even taken down a tree out there in left center field. So 2 away. Hyannis has a 3-0 lead. How about that for your first hit of the game? The first pitch to Trey Lipsy is upstairs.
Now Lipsy, the 9-hole hitter, finds a way to get on. Over the last 5 has been hitting .444, so a really strong hitter through his at-bats, but he hasn't had too many. He's been walked and hit by pitch quite frequently in those last 5.
This is a weird comp that just popped into my head. Trey Lipsy is the baseball equivalent of Scottie Pippen Jr. at Vanderbilt. Scottie Pippen Jr. probably went 5 for 20 from the field on a nightly basis, but got to the free throw line and scored 25 points a game.
Interesting comp to take us to the 3rd inning. But the Hyannis finds their first hit in a Brody Donay 2-run missile out to left field. Let's go to the 3rd. 3-0 Hyannis.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
go to the third, 3-0 Hyannis, as we take a look at what the standings are shaping to look like around the league.
And the standings out in the West at 15, 11, and 1 is YD leading things off with 31 points. And that's the same 31 points Hyannis and Bourne have as well. So very interesting how the different divisions stack up this year, with Harwich falling down a little bit there, now to 13, 15 in that situation. Orleans and Brewster continuing to fall, but now with Chatham's resurgent, now with Marty Lees coming into the managerial role, they're starting to make a play against Brewster, who's now fallen a couple behind.
Yeah, and then out west, it's Cotuit pacing that division, 20-7. They're the hottest team in the baseball in the league, and they are the best team in the league with 40 points right now. Bourne and Hyannis, of course, tied at 15, 12, and 1. The Commodores have had quite the resurgence in the last couple of weeks. They've moved up into the fourth spot, and Wareham drops to 5th.
Slapped and out of the diving reach of York and into right field for a base hit for Derek Fabian to start the top of the third off.
Fabian just working it just enough out of reach in that situation for York. Just couldn't get off the line in time, as that one, he just had a couple more inches on his arm span. Might have been able to grab it because he was that close, but great effort there by York to lay out 4-1, try and prevent it from sneaking in to right field.
First pitch to Weatherholt as the lineup turns over is low. And on the Brody Donay home run, I think we've got some stats on it.
Yeah, that one traveled 398 feet. Went 110 miles an hour off the bat.
It's on the ground to first. This could be 2. York to second for 1, but he airmails it, and it goes into left field. And Fabian will go on to third. It was a tailor-made double play ball, but York sends it over the head of Hainline. Now runners are on the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, those are always really tough. The turning the double play as the first baseman towards second. First baseman typically don't throw that much, but it's still a weird angle with the runner in the base path trying to avoid him, and just a very difficult play.
So now 3 errors in as many innings for Hyannis brings up Caden Kent, who reached on one of those errors as it's chopped at the plate foul.
Now runners on the corners in this spot. This is a big spot for Chatham here to try and scratch in response of that Brody Donay home run.
Here's the 0-1 coming to Kent. They'll check off at first.
O'Connor, the righty, has direct look here to Fabian over at third base in that spot. So you want to just check over to make sure there's not a double steal in play and try and get them moving and make it a little bit more difficult to have 2 pickles running.
So 1-1 the count on from O'Connor on Kent. The pitch is on the ground to second. Snow turns for 1. Hainline will eat it and allow just the 1 out, as Fabian will score on the play. Kent will get the RBI, and now Chatham on the board, 3-1 the score.
Now on a great ground out, Snow getting the leadoff runner so that you're able to eliminate another running in scoring position. Understanding that you can get the sure out, just take it at second base and not try and force. It was big by Hainline, not trying forcing it over to York if the play wasn't there to allow a needless runner to get into scoring position.
First pitch to Schubert, waved at and missed. So now just the 1 out, and you could also try to get another ground ball. That's 2 ground balls now. So to no fault of O'Connor does that run score. It will not reflect on his ERA because that run is unearned, as the 0-1 is up and in to Schubert.
Yeah, might have missed, but that was a good fastball in on the hands. Nothing much that Schubert could do with that.
Here's the 1-1 in the dirt. Donay gives a bit of a look back. And just to go back to those standings, you guys talk about Falmouth being hot on a 5-game win streak, and Cotuit still not slowing down. 6-game win streak of their own I mean, they're in a class of their own at this point. As it'll be a 2-1. Low and away again. Now 3-1 the count on Schubert.
If you're O'Connor here, you want to really focus on the batter, on Schubert.
So leverage in the count here for the left fielder Schubert. The 3-1 inside. He works a walk. Now runners on first and second for the cleanup hitter Will Hoyt.
Yeah, not what you wanted there from O'Connor, but the good news is you're still one pitch from getting out of this with a good middle infield for Hyannis. A ground ball to short or second or even third at that matter could end this inning.
So that brings Will Hoyt to the plate. First pitch to him is a fly ball, foul territory, or right close to the line, as O'Connor just over the line in foul territory will make the play himself. Don't see it too often that the pitchers are the ones making it, but it's a big out for the second one.
It's my favorite play in baseball right there, a P1. Love it when a pitcher takes charge to make that play. Probably the exact opposite of what your coaches tell you to do, but hey, as long as you make the play, you're good.
Yeah, if he's the one who sees it the best off the mound, he'll be able to call everybody off if he really thinks he has the go at it. So 2 away for McDonald, who reached on the second of now 3 errors committed by Hyannis. Runners on first and second in Kent and Schubert. Kent off second, Schubert off first. Now 2-0 the count on McDonald.
Connor's still battling here, and he's never out of a situation because he's a pitcher that works on batters in every zone.
Swing and a miss, 2-1 the count.
And he got a pretty sizable hole on that right side of the infield between Snow and York. And there you see it, just that right side of the infield. If he was able to push one the opposite way, he'd be able to get one.
2-1 inside.
And in addition to that, the right fielder Taylor is playing so far back right now.
Yeah, they're talking at the mound, and they're having that discussion because in the 2 games that in the 2 games that McDonald has been here and started, both of his hits that he's recorded have both been home runs. So this guy has some power in his bat. One swing gives Chatham the lead right back. So he's 2 for 7 on his young summer so far. And yeah, as I just said, both hits have been dingers. He's got the leverage here in the count as the 3-1 misses, and they're loaded up for Miola.
Now Miola, who flew out to Earhart back in the second, comes up. But now a play is to any base in this situation for Hyannis. You don't want to have it, but when you have bases loaded with 2 outs, you're able to take a little bit more of a sigh of relief if possible, with Snow continuing to shade over there.
Big at bat early in this game for Miola. Good frame from Donay to bring it back onto the corner. 0-1.
Yeah, great breaking ball at 77 miles an hour from O'Connor to be able to get there and work just above the knees.
0-1 gets past Donay, and this will allow a run to score as Kent crosses, and it's just all of a sudden a 1-run game.
It's great awareness down the third base line by Kent, understanding that it went right between the wickets of Donay back into the wall, and in that spot he was able to jump on top of it and get a jump before Donay could even find it.
And now that makes this even bigger because now Miola doesn't even have to do too much to give Chatham the lead right back as the tying run stands 90 feet away. Go-ahead run at second base. 1-1, there's a strike. 1-2 the count.
Now 1-2 count here. This is an off-sequence pitch that you might want to throw in this count.
Here's the 1-2, and it's fouled away. And there's your off speed right there. Had it a little bit up in the zone. Defensive swing there from Miola.
Breaking ball at 78 there. Keep him honest and try and protect off the plate.
Miola, a 190 hitter this year, does have a home run, though.
1-2 inside, and deuce is wild for Jack O'Connor here in the top of the third. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on and 2 in here in the top of the third to make it a 1-run game to Hyannis. Here's the 2-2. It's a fly ball to right field, fairly deep as Taylor shuffles back and puts it away to make the play. But Chatham has made it a game here as we're through 2.5. It is 3-2 to Hyannis, and let's send it down now to the 4th member of our team, Bria Losick.
I'm here with Jacob Hahn, one of our baseball operations interns, and we're just going to do a little get-to-know-you interview. They do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, so we wanted to bring them on the camera. Jacob, why'd you first get into baseball?
I've honestly just loved it for as long as I can remember, being able to play it with my brother, with my dad in the yard outside my house. It's just been a lifelong passion of mine.
What team have you supported growing up?
Always been a Chicago White Sox fan for as long as I've been alive.
And here with the Harbor Hawks, you have a lot to do, modeling, coding, all of that, a lot of things that are very advanced that a lot of people don't understand. But what's your day-to-day with the Harbor Hawks?
So usually when I wake up, I got to make sure all of our scouting reports for the day are done, make sure our matchup grids are done to help the coaches out, and then after that, it's time for me to start working on either modeling or coding projects, or sometimes looking for new players for the team to sign, evaluating our roster, and making sure that the team we put on the field is as good as it can be every day.
Who's one guy that, when you were looking for players, that you were super excited about bringing in?
So one guy that we've recently brought in that we've been very excited about is David Case. So he got his first outing yesterday. Pitched 1.2 innings out of the bullpen, scoreless innings. We use a lefty from a JUCO, so we didn't have a lot of information to go off of, but watching the video on him, we liked what we saw. He'd put up great numbers at JUCO, and we're very excited to have him in the bullpen for the rest of the year.
All right, thank you, Jacob. You can see all of the stuff that they're putting out with the baseball operations department on Twitter. If you follow the analytics account, lots of advanced stuff, that just great stuff that you guys have been working on. So glad to have them be a part of this year. All right, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Bria. Yeah, give us a wave, guys. There we go. Bria Losick and Jacob Hahn on the interview. I mean, we talk about how amazing our baseball ops department is all the time, as the first pitch to Nick Mitchell is in there for a strike, and Jacob Hahn is just at the center of it. Just so much that he does as part of our fantastic baseball ops department.
There, he's taking a picture on the field pregame to give props for his internship back at Rice Form. So making sure that they know how valuable he is to this operation up here.
I mean, just the knowledge that he has of baseball, and then to be able to code as well. I mean, the projects for those who follow the Cape and Hyannis Twitter analytics accounts on Twitter. It's just amazing stuff that Jacob Hahn and the rest of baseball ops are putting out. So we thank him for talking with Bria Losick as there's action down in the Chatham bullpen, as Nick Mitchell sits in a 2-1 count.
Yeah, Trey Gibson getting loose out there for the Anglers.
The 2-1 to Mitchell is upstairs. 3-1 the count.
Another righty for Chatham with the righty Witt on the mound. So this probably isn't a righty-lefty type deal.
Leverage for Mitchell. He knew it as he went chasing upstairs and runs the count full.
There's your Mitchell continuing to be a stellar batter to lead things off. Works counts, and be able to be in a full count here is huge.
Payoff is upstairs, and for the third straight inning, not via a hit, the Harbor Hawks get their leadoff man on.
Yeah, able to manufacture around some runs. It goes back to the old adage of, I don't care what he does, he gets on base. And that is exactly how they've figured out to manufacture 3 runs across in the first 3 innings. The first 2 innings, actually.
So that brings up Earhart with the leadoff runner on for the second time for him. He sent Mitchell to third back in the first after he stole second. See if he'll be on the move again. And they'll check back on him first.
Yeah, Earhart, a guy that has made some adjustments to his swing since getting out here on the Cape. He's shortened up his load a little bit. So what that means, when that pitch starts coming in, he's going to, when he makes that stride and loads his hands up, it's shorter. So he starts with his hands higher, more towards his ear. He was starting with them lower earlier in the season.
Yeah, he talked to the fourth member of our team, Bria Lasic, as we see Earhart's stats on the season. As you see, he also flew out. As the 1-0, another fly ball out to center field, a little deeper. McDonald under it to make the play and put away out number 1. But yeah, he was talking with Bria last night about how he and his brother and coach, Drew Earhart, were working on his swing together, and he highlighted those hands where they should just be there. If they're, why move them if they have to be there already?
Yeah, and it shortens it up. It makes the process easier. Why move your hands around and maybe from one spot down to a second spot to go to a third spot when you could just go 1-2, be ready to go, and get that bat off your shoulder a little bit quicker.
And that's what you saw as well. Of he was somewhat behind on those fastballs and is able to be really strong. And like you said, he's shortening up. He's able to be 2 steps ahead where it's able to help, especially with the pitchers you're seeing coming in at 90 miles an hour, that if you're already here, instead of being down a little bit, you're able to get down quicker and get those hands across your body and be a hip tuck.
Another guy that's seen a lot of different changes this year is Cam Smith at the plate right now. He is hit in every lineup spot except for cleanup, the 7-hole, and the 9-hole. I asked him about it. He was like, I'm just happy to be in the lineup. But he also said that he's never been moved around that much.
It's a weak ground ball up the third base line. Tough for Miola. He bare hands and won't give a throw. And yep, sometimes better to be lucky than good. And when you're hot the way Cam Smith is, that's always going to be a way to find yourself onto first base.
Yeah, 19-game on-base streak for him there with that one, and does a great job of it.
And that'll bring up Zach York with runners in at first and second, a guy that has been scorching hot himself, a guy that controls the zone really, really well. I was talking to a couple of guys in the front office earlier today, and they said I kind of brought up.
It's a fly ball, right field and deep. Back goes Kent. He leaps, and it's over his head. The runners had to hold because they weren't sure if he was going to make the play. So it's a long single as the ball cut all the way through. I mean, York has just been tearing the cover off the ball. He sends a long single out to right field. Now the bases are loaded for Will Taylor.
I was about to say that we were going to compare him to Max Muncy. I asked him if that was a good comparison, the way he controls the zone right here, and he catches that one out over the middle of the plate just like Max Muncy would. Left-handed hitter with a ton of power, and that was easy. He just flinged it right over the right fielder's head.
And that one was hanging up there for so long that Kent, the only way he could make a play is trying to leap, but just judged his leap wrong as he was able to leap 2 steps back. But now bases loaded for Will Taylor.
First pitch hits him, and number 41 will score run number 4 on the day. I mean, errors hit by pitches. It's all over the place here today, but I don't think it'll matter as Hyannis gets their 4th run of the game, opens their lead back up, and that might end the day for Tanner Witt.
That may end the day, but now he stands alone at second in the league here with a new pitcher coming in.
And we'll tell you all about the Chatham new pitcher right after this.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie. And whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
So Tanner Witt leaves the bases loaded here in the bottom of the third. 1 run already in, and we will see Trey Gibson come in relief for Chatham.
Yeah, Trey Gibson out of Yorktown, Virginia, comes in with a 12.27 ERA through 11 innings pitched, struck out 13, has given up 18 hits. Hyannis saw him here at McKeon Park for his first appearance of the year. Went 4 innings, gave up 4 runs. All of them were earned. Gave up 5 hits and walked 4 and struck out 5 through 22 batters faced. But he started to figure it out a little bit more as he got out of the starting role, went into more of this relief inning. He has only gone for the past 2 outings an inning in relief. So interested to see how Marty Lees uses him here in this situation with bases continued to be loaded with only 1 away for Hyannis.
Yeah, a guy that's going to deliver the ball a little bit more over the top. His curveball is going to come in at 12-6 movement as he's going to first face Elijah Hainline, who walked back in the second. Certainly a tough hitter to open up your outing with. Hainline kind of serving as maybe another one of those leadoff hitters, guys that can control the zone, high OBP. But again, his delivery is going to be over the top. He's going to throw his off speed a lot more with 2 strikes. He goes fastball curve to righties like Hainline.
Hainline has seen some time and a few at-bats with runners in scoring position, has a home run to his name in 15 at-bats, also has 4 RBIs, but hitting 200 on the season so far. He's only came up with 1 at-bat prior to this with the bases loaded. And in that at-bat, he scored 2. So dangerous situation here for Chatham. Hyannis has a 4-2 lead, and they are threatening for a lot more as Hainline sees the first pitch on the outside corner called strike 1.
Yeah, perfectly located fastball down and away right there.
So Gibson can carry the bulk out of the bullpen. I don't know if he gets hit around first, as here's the 0-1 in the dirt. Good block from White to keep Smith with sneaky speed over at third.
Yeah, Smith is at third base from a single. York is at second with a single. Taylor stands at first by a hit by pitch. Only 1 away here in this bottom of the third. Bases juiced in this spot.
Bases full of Hawks here in the bottom of the third with 1 run already in. Here's the 1-1 way outside. Now 2-1 the count on Hainline. What a wacky game it's been.
Yeah, this has been weird.
3 errors for Hyannis. Hit by pitches aplenty.
Already an hour into this game, and we're only in the bottom of the third.
And soon to not be done. As here's the 2-1 to Hainline. It's low. No place to put Hainline with the bases loaded. Another walk here will score the game's or Hyannis' 5th run.
And a guy that you don't want to face on deck in Brody Donay, who's already hit a homer.
As there you see Brody, as here's the 3-1, it's outside, he walked him. And that will score Cam Smith. The bases remain loaded for Brody Donay. I think this might be one of the last guys you want to face after seeing that swing that he put on the ball in the bottom of the second with the bases loaded.
Yeah, I started to talk about it earlier, but 398 feet, 110 miles an hour off the bat, and one of the most impressive parts of this is the launch angle. It was a low line drive below 19 degrees.
110 off the bat. First pitch to Donay is low. You don't see major league guys doing that on some of their home runs. I mean, that's such and then to be able to get it out a launch angle below 20 degrees, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's no cheap. That's not left center field. That's a long way.
No. It gets a bit cavernous out in that left center field. As here's the 1-0 to Brody. Gibson wisely pitching around him, but there's nowhere you can put him either with the bases loaded.
You can't, and with bases loaded this year, Hyannis has been batting .455. They have been deadly when they have been needed them to have bases loaded, and they've already been able to work a runner in.
York off third, Taylor off second, and Hainline off first. The 2-0 to Donay, wave and a miss. He wanted to do it again. Now 2-1 the count on the Virginia Tech catcher.
Yeah, Donay sitting there.
As Donay awaits, and here's the 2-1. It's in the dirt. Big block from White to be able to keep that in front. Now 3-1. Once again, no place to put Donay.
Yeah, and that's all instincts on that block. You just, you can teach fundamentals all you want. You want to keep that chest down a little bit and everything, but once that ball's coming in, it's all instincts. You just need to get yourself in front of it, get your chest square to it, and hope it takes a good bounce.
Hitters count for Donay with the bases loaded. The 3-1 is a fly ball, left field and deep. He's done it again. A grand slam for Brody Donay. He breaks this game wide open in the bottom of the third. He is returning to the lineup with authority.
This is about as a towering of a shot as you can. Left center field, extremely cavernous. And watch this pitch. It's middle, goes back up, and drops his shoulder just enough to get over. And at that point, Schubert can only look at it as he found himself in that same walk the last time Donay was up. And now 2 for 2 with 2 home runs. Brody Donay, have yourself a day, man.
I mean, almost the same exact spot, almost the same exact everything. Just a low line drive, a bullet off the bat, and Hyannis has broken it open in the bottom of the third. Now 9-2 they lead as Snow hits a high pop-up into shallow center. In is McDonald, out is Martin, and McDonald calls it off to put away only the second out here in a now 6-run bottom of the third.
When it rains, it pours for Mr. Luke Combs. Has all of the meaning here tonight. You look at Hawks are hot. They're hot together. We talked about in the pregame show tonight, Mickey. Their hitting is contagious. When another guy hits, they find a way on. And when they're in bases loaded, now that's their second grand slam just in the past 5 games.
And it's more consistent now. Like we were saying, it's across every inning. They've scored in every inning of this game. Expect them to keep scoring, keep the gas pedal down. And it's just fun to watch when they're hitting like this as Trey Lipsy stands in, who also has been seeing the ball so well at a triple yesterday.
Fouls it back. He's quickly behind 0-2. Took the words out of my mouth, Jacob Irons. They're back to Luke Combs baseball out here. 6 runs in the bottom of the third. Now 9-2, Hyannis leads.
And you thought 110 was impressive the first time off the bat. How about he did it again? 110 again.
Oh, man.
24-degree launch angle, a little bit higher. And, you know, that one was only 381 feet.
Oh, man, those 10 feet, come on. 0-2 to Lipsy is upstairs. He's the 9th batter of this bottom of the third.
This is a full bat around. You have a pitching change in there as well as you now have Gibson out.
1-2 catches the outside corner for strike 3, but a 6-run bottom of the third capped by a Brody Donay grand slam breaks things open for Hyannis. 9-2 as we go to the 4th.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, determine who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? get away from the lights, get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Well, Jack O'Connor's got a little bit more of a lead to work with here. A 7-run lead after 6 runs pour across in the bottom of the third. And Assistant General Manager Zach Chase now joins us. I mean, how about that inning from the guys, huh?
I mean, you can only hope to have an inning like that
Yeah.
out of the game. I mean, Brody already with 6 RBIs tonight. I would say when you have 6 RBIs through 3 innings, you're probably doing something right at the plate.
I think so.
I would guess so too. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We also have to say congratulations,
Yes.
newly married.
Thank you.
Wow.
Came up. How's married life treating you? Everything's good?
Everything's going pretty good on that front. Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. Being up here on Cape Cod again without my lovely wife, Kelly, it does hurt being here without her because of the wedding being here. It feels like something's missing a little bit. And you know I love being up for the games, but without her on the by my side for them, it does feel like something, a little bit of a hole in my heart, despite being up here enjoying the games with you both.
Well, shout out to the wife back home if she's listening, as we're holding it down for her out here. Nice little sky as well as we go to the top of the 4th. Now a 9-2 lead for Hyannis as the 0-1 in there to Hudson Whitewell now just missed. 1-1 the count. What have you been thinking of Jack O'Connor? He's looked really good in his first 2 appearances, Zach.
Well, obviously coming in a very highly touted arm. I mean, you're gonna be hard pressed to find, as he puts that one in for a strike, you're gonna be hard pressed to find anyone who was as highly touted a freshman arm coming in as Jack. But despite that, towards the end of the season at Virginia, he started to get a little bit middling of results, but up here, it looks like he's regained his form.
It's a weak ground ball to third. It'll stay fair. Barehanded by Smith. He fires, and good work from York to keep it in front. The throw was beat out by Hudson White, so he reaches on an infield single.
Little squibber right there. Very tough one to get to for Cam. Tried to make the play. Good motion with his arm on the throw, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it across in time. But no, with Jack, I think you've really seen his form be very strong to start off his summer here with us. Fastball overall in really good shape. His breaking ball tonight just has an excellent shape, and he's locating it extremely well. And Chatham's lineup tonight, of course, having Weatherholt back, he's not exactly facing a lot of the hitters that have been in the lineup that struggled most of the summer. He's facing some really strong guys out there, so you have to be encouraged so far what you see.
This could be 2 here. Onto for 1, and Snow can't quite finish off the double play. Another ground ball to Smith, a lot more handedly this one. Smith was able to turn onto Snow at second, and the turn just couldn't quite get finished off. But a nice smooth around the horn double play attempt as the lead runner cut down as Martin reaches first on the fielder's choice.
Strong backhanded stab there by Cam. Good throw across to second base, and then just a bang-bang play at first. You missed out by 1 step. Exactly as you said. Really smoothly turned. You're just 1 step away from turning 2 there.
First pitch to Derek Fabian catches the outside corner. So we were talking before the game, you and I, so you were an intern yourself. And tell me about your experience here. I want to know. I was saving it for now.
Well, I mean, the way I started off as a writer my first summer, broadcasted a little my second, and the third I occupied your seat, the seats that you and Jacob and Mickey occupy, and that summer I have nothing but the fondest of memories of being in this booth. It looked a little different than the way it does now. You guys got a little bit much more of a professional setup now than we were rocking with at the time, but I think that was part of the charm of it.
Snap throw down to first, just about handled by York. I mean, this is the same with me. I mean, we're just over halfway through the season. I don't want the season to ever end. I mean, we're watching such a fun team, and being able to work with everybody who has been just of the utmost of professional as well has just helped us so much as we carry out, in my opinion, one of, if not the best broadcast. As that's punched through the left side for a base hit by Fabian. On to second goes Martin. Runners on first and second, 1 man out. Now that turns the lineup card over for the aforementioned J.J. Weatherholt.
Second hit of the night for Fabian. He looks to be seeing the ball well so far tonight, without doubt. But going back to what you were saying, Some people ask me, being here for so many summers, what's your favorite part of the summer? Is it the playoffs?
My
whatever it
next
is?
question. That was my next question.
And I would tell everyone the same thing. The best part of the summer are the times like right now where you're in the middle of it, things are feeling good, you have plenty of days left to look forward to, and you're just in the middle of this life. Those are the best times.
As it gets by Donay, that'll allow both runners to advance. That's been a part of just such a strange game we've seen so far. 3 errors for Hyannis. A few have gotten by Brody Donay, and they've been hit by pitches. There's been all this, yet Jack O'Connor's only managed to put 2 runs up on the board.
Yep, O'Connor's managed to hold his own very well, but if you were to use the word clean to describe this game, you would be using it loosely because it has been very, very far from clean so far from both teams on both sides. Trouble handling the ball. I mean, we just saw a pass ball from Chatham last inning lead to a run scored, so it looks like both teams having trouble handling the ball tonight after the rains of earlier today.
Yeah, Donay there and O'Connor got crossed up there a little bit, so they make a meeting of it.
It's a fly ball out into the gap and into the gap. This will plate 2. 1 run scores. Here comes Fabian around third. He will score. It's a 2-run double for Weatherholt. He's back from Team USA action, and he's right back in the thick of things with Chatham now 9-4. The lead is to Hyannis.
That's exactly what you're getting out of J.J. Weatherholt. I mean, one of the flat-out best players in the country. I mean, you cannot understate how much of a boon it is for Chatham to have him back on their roster. A guy that you can plug in at the top of the lineup that's going to get on base, guaranteed at least once a game, maybe more, invaluable for this team.
And with his speed as well, 36 stolen bases with West Virginia this year. That is a guy that comes in and has great speed. So when you have that leadoff guy on that can also hit, it makes that 9-hole of Fabian even a larger in that situation to have and be that second leadoff as well.
And I'll tell you what, his speed, it goes fully in theme with he's a dirt rat as a ball player. To play Team USA, he was starting almost every day for that team, and to want to come back here again to play more baseball when he's already one of the best players in the country, this guy loves to play. You can't keep him away from the field.
I mean, you guys talked about his 36 stolen bases. I don't want it to go unmentioned that he led the nation in average. He hit .449 on the college season with the Mountaineers. And who went behind him? Oh, only 2 top 11 picks in Nolan Shonwell, former Harbor Hawk, and Dylan Cruz of LSU. As the first pitch is slapped into left field, that's a base hit for Caden Kent. Weatherholt will be held at third, and it doesn't seem like Chatham will be going back into the night quietly. They've got runners on the corners with 1 out and already 2 run in here in the top of the 4th.
That's the one thing, gentlemen. Plenty of game left.
Yes.
Plenty of outs still left to get. So already, I think, in my opinion, this is a different game than the one we had a few minutes ago. So if you're Hyannis, you need to be careful here. You can be looking at a much closer game than even 5 if you're not careful with this inning as we go along.
Take a look at this box score, though. 9 runs on 4 hits. And 2 of them have come off the bat of Brody Donay and have resulted in 6 RBI. That's how you make the most of your runners on base. As the first pitch, was it foul tip? Did he go? Yes, he did. Nolan Schubert did swing. I think the contact I heard was off the equipment of Donay as the call was made over between second and third by Marvick Gomez.
Yeah, it's like a plain strike there. No foul. That was contact of Donay, so called correctly.
So see if Chatham can work a little bit of havoc on the base pads with runners on the corners. And this one gets by Donay. That'll allow 1 run to score. Let's see if he'll go to third, Will Kent. He takes a wide turn around, and he will not. So Weatherholt scores on the wild pitch. And just like that, it's a 1-swing ball game. Chatham back within slam range.
Cape Cod squeezes all over the place tonight. And there's another one right there. I think both catchers just having trouble handling the ball, especially when it's in the dirt after the rain. And I mean, I said it before, you have a guy on third base in Cape Cod, I don't care what pitcher or catcher you have on there, at some point you have them on there long enough, you're going to make a mistake, and the guy's going to come in.
Yeah.
And now a balk's been called on O'Connor, and Kent now will stand 90 feet away for making it a 3-run game. This game's had everything so far. Now we'll throw a balk into the mix.
Just what we needed, more chaos, right?
Now, if you're you just got to settle down. Focus on the batter here in Schubert.
And it makes him look silly there as the count is now 1-2 on Nolan Schubert.
Because you still have 4 runs pocketed in your back pocket right now if you're O'Connor. So you can take your time, take this plate disengagement. I like this move here. Getting that dirt off on the spikes back there, trying to get them away. Step clean and just come in with a clear mind and be able to attack the zone.
O'Connor steps off, takes his mound disengagement before dealing to Schubert. And 9 runs on 4 hits is, I can't say, and then to go along with 3 errors too, as the 1-2 just misses outside.
And Chatham still has 2 more outs to play with here in this situation, as well as Hyannis has only been able to get 1.
The 2-2 catches the inside corner. Schubert down looking. Big strikeout for Jack O'Connor, and that will no longer score a run on a fly ball. 2 away for Wilhoit.
It's a beautiful pitch, and that's what you're looking for from O'Connor. It's a young arm, and guess what? It's not like every inning for him is going to go perfect when he gets back to Virginia. He's going to have some rough innings, and they may not be as able to take him out as you may like, because he's one of their big guns. So the fact that he's fighting through this, it's good to see from the young gun.
And the first pitch is a shallow fly ball. Earhart took a step back, now in, and it dunks in. And that will allow Kent to score. Was a first step of not, you would like to see better of that from Zach Earhart. Maybe went above the lights before coming down. And just like that, after a 6-run bottom of the 3rd for Hyannis, Chatham punches back for 4 of their own here in the top of the 4th.
New ball game. You said it, Zach, in that situation. Every inning is a new ball game right now for these 2 teams battling it out. High offense already in the top of the 4th.
First pitch misses to McDonald.
And at this point, if you're Hyannis, you don't care how you get out of the inning. You just need to reset yourself, get back up there, try to expand the lead some more.
There's a strike to McDonald. He reached on an error in the 2nd and walked in the 3rd. In there, 1 and 2, you can see O'Connor now working with a little bit of a faster pace, as he seems to have found something despite the soft contact. Despite all the runs, he is getting the contact he wants. 1-2, swung on and missed as McDonald goes down swinging. But we've got a brand new ball game once again. Chatham strikes back for 4 in the top of the 4th. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. 9-6 already to Hyannis.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
To the bottom of the 4th we go, and we want to remind you that Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. And with 6 convenient urgent care locations across Cape Cod from Falmouth to Orleans, we're ready to treat a wide variety of minor illnesses and injuries so you can get back to your regularly scheduled summer plans quickly. Open daily with no appointment needed and staffed by board-certified ER providers. View wait times at capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care, minor emergencies, major attention. Guys, I'm getting a bit of a headache from this game. What a weird one it's been. I might have to visit Cape Cod Healthcare myself after this one. We're through 3.5. It's 9-6 as Nick Mitchell comes back up for already his 3rd at-bat of the game through 4 innings. Has yet to record an at-bat, his 3rd plate appearance. He was hit in the 1st and walked in the 3rd. Later came around to score in the 3rd. First pitch in there for strike 1.
First pitch, first inning also had that stolen base where he got an excellent jump on that play.
Assistant General Manager of the Harbor Hawks, Zach Chase, back with us for the bottom of the 4th. Joined us for the top, saw that wacky inning. Let's see what the bottom of the fourth holds in store for us. Mitchell is quickly behind 0-2. Zach Chase has been with the organization for multiple summers now. Told us he was a writer, a broadcaster in his own right, and now even up into the front office of this team. As the 0-2 is weakly on the ground to first, it's called a foul ball. It hit Mitchell.
Yep, hit him in the foot there. You hate to see those. Those always hurt. I don't care what level of baseball you play. You foul it right into your toes, you are not feeling too good.
There's not enough shin guards or protection there that you can be able to put on for these batters. They have the shin guards. You have the elbow guards.
You sometimes see some cartoonishly large shin pads on some of these guys there.
And then you even have some of the helmets that come in with, that comes across the face and the cheek as well, trying to protect their body at all costs.
Here's the 0-2 to Mitchell, just upstairs. But yeah, those Evo shields, they do pretty well to now be able to allow the batters to step in right away.
As someone who was drilled in the mouth by a line drive as a kid, I would definitely be wearing one of those helmets.
Yeah.
Definitely would be.
Don't worry, my Little League career had the full softball face mask. I was so fearful of it.
Whoa. I did it once too.
Yeah.
Cage face.
Yeah, cage face. Everyone thought it was. I was happy when I was in coach's pitch. They all thought it was cool because they all thought it was a football helmet. I was like, nah, this is just to make sure I want to make sure I see it.
2-2 foul away down the third base line. Miola gave it a look, but it makes the seats. Some disapproving jeers from behind us. No, producer Nico Sharp not a fan.
I'm happy to hear that Zach was with me at some point in our younger baseball careers.
Well, look, I mean, I get it. I get the positions behind us. But on the other hand, if you're someone that gets drilled with a line drive, then it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
He does have an excuse, says producer Nico Sharp.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Mine was out of fear, so I don't think I have an excuse at that point. So
we appreciate the honesty, Jacob. As here's the payoff to Mitchell. It's upstairs. Good at bat from Mitchell to be able to work his second walk of the day. No official at bats on the day for Nick Mitchell through 3 plate appearances, but he's reached first all 3 times.
It's really good to have him back at the top of the lineup. He's really the spark plug that's going to make this team go, and that him getting on base puts that much more pressure on the other team whenever he's on, especially to lead off an inning.
Now you bring up Zach Earhart in a batter that has developed right now. We talked about his hand movements and how they've changed up over by his ears, and it's just been a great development by coaching him.
And White couldn't find the ball that he blocked in front of him, which allows Mitchell with his speed to advance to second.
Heads up play there by Mitchell. Yeah, going back to Earhart, he's really begun to find it with his swing. I mean, it just overall looked better. Even on balls that are outs, hitting the ball a lot harder, looking a lot more confident in the box, beginning to resemble much more the player we saw in his freshman season at Oklahoma State, the same guy that people remember from that season with the Cowboys.
1-0 squares to bunt. It's way up. Gets a little sturdy on the way out of the box. Count is now 2-0. He's hitting 400 over his last 5. He's brought that average way up. After the start that he had, about 0 for 26, you'd say, back up to 200 is really big for Earhart. It'll be a 2-0 to Zach. Squares to bunt again. He's popped it up. And a diving play by Mason White to get the gear dirty. Did it hit the ground? It didn't, no. As White made the play, really loud cheers from the Chatham fans to our right. That's what you love seeing, getting the chest protector dirty a little bit. Nice play by White to retire Earhart.
White is an excellent defensive catcher. Has that reputation and just showed it on that play. That was an athletic, acrobatic play. Certainly not easy to make. To keep the ball from hitting the ground, too. Just an excellent overall play by Hudson White.
First pitch to Cam Smith awaits with Mitchell dancing off second. It's upstairs.
Now you have a runner in scoring position for Cam Smith, who is a 1-for-1 day on the sacrifice fly earlier in the day. He comes in a big spot once again to try and increase that lead. You want to try and get to 4. We always talk about that slam range that you can be in.
As the 1-0 tipped into the glove of White. 1-1 the count.
And Zach, you're with this team throughout the preseason, signing players. Can you take us through what that experience is like for players that don't really understand, and for listeners and watchers that don't understand what it takes to get guys in these situations with Smith swinging and missing?
Well, the way I describe it to everyone that asks Jake is, it's the Wild West. Until you have a guy officially signed on the dotted line, contract filed in, you don't have him. And there are so many different things that can trip up the process of where you think you have a guy or you won't, and that includes after you sign them.
On the ground to short, Mitchell advances to third as the play is made by Fabian, 2 away. As Mitchell advances to third on the sacrifice, that brings up York.
Even after you sign players and have a roster preliminarily going into a college season or at the end of a college season, between injuries, innings limits, Team USA, guys being shut down, you have no way of predicting exactly who's going to be there and who isn't by the time you get to that point of their season beginning. And not to mention, when your season starts, you don't have all your guys yet because of the tournament and season's not being over yet. So from the time you start the season to the time that you end it, as it puts in the strike, it is a constant war of attrition of we have to get guys up now or we don't need them or suddenly we do. And especially with all the injuries we've had this season, it's been that times a bunch more.
I mean, but this is a guy that they found in Zach York after, I mean, we've seen him come in a little bit late from Grand Canyon, and he could have been their guy from the start the way he's been hitting.
If you guys want a little look inside the baseball operations process, when Zach York's name was brought up
the middle, base hit, and Zach York continues a scorching start to the summer. Mitchell scores, and I mean, there's a reason baseball ops is looking at him here, Zach. He brings in Mitchell, now 10-6, 4-run lead for Hyannis.
Don't you love when the game puts out there exactly what you're talking about?
Yes.
So it flows perfectly. But yes, the back control, you just saw it right there, perfect example. But inside baseball ops, when they brought up Zach York, I had one question and one question only. How is he not taken yet? That was the only question I had. I didn't have anything else regards to like, oh, could he do it or be okay? It was just, how in the world is this guy not on a Cape League roster? And credit to the entire baseball ops staff. I know I'm a part of it, but the rest of us all around for finding him and getting him up here. I mean, I think you would be hard pressed to find a better name to bring up at that juncture in that given situation than Zach York, and he's been everything we ever could have hoped for. He really has been.
Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who's performed so well. There's trust being put in York, as we saw Gavin Cash released as the first pitch dunks into Taylor for strike one. As Cash goes and leaves the roster, and you need York to come in and step up. I mean, you could argue he's just up there with some of the best in the whole league in his short summer so far.
He just has elite contact. He sees the ball so very well, and he makes such elite adjustments. I remember it was 2 nights ago where they left the left side of the field wide open. It wasn't that he did it because, look, any hitter worth their salt is going to do that when you leave them the hole. But he just made it look so easy and effortless, like he wasn't even trying to do it. And that is rare. You don't see that elite kind of bat-to-ball skill, hitter's eye in every hitter, the way you see it in Zach York.
He stands off first, having brought in Hyannis' 10th run of the game. Good cut from Taylor as he sends it into the screen. He's been hit twice.
And
let's hope for not another. We don't need more injuries.
However, with 40 hit-by pitches leading the way in the Cape Cod Baseball League, one of the top numbers for this Hyannis Harbor Hawks team, does that give you a little bit of worry at times when you're starting to see a little bit of plunked batters leading the way?
You know, I'm regularly home in New Jersey, not here. And when I listen to your broadcast, you guys frequently point out every time I hear it. I'm like, on one hand, oh, we're on base. On the other hand, oh, man, please don't tell me after the game that one of our guys is badly hurt.
And that's what's good, though. It's like they're not even getting they're not in places where they sting too much. They're catching a lot of muscle.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. And with my fingers crossed. I said it with my fingers crossed. As here's the 1-2 fouled off third base side by Taylor.
Yep, a fingers crossed without doubt, because something else in the line with Zach York now, and if you want another peek inside baseball ops, you're getting into the season where there's just not many guys left available on any front. I mean, we saw, at least for 2 nights ago, YD signed their bullpen catcher, at least for a game, because they had nobody else.
Bit of movement in the Hyannis bullpen. Right back up the middle by Taylor for a base hit. Yeah, don't hit him anymore because he'll hit you right back. Right back up the middle from Will Taylor. And now first and second, 2 men out for Hainline.
Clearly the Harbor Hawk hitters are seeing Gibson very well right now, because that's 2 balls in a row hit right back up the middle. They're right on time with him. They're seeing him well. If I'm in Chatham, I'm a little concerned right now with Gibson, even with 2 out.
Yeah, nobody in their bullpen right now for them. So it looks like this is going to be Gibson with 2 outs to try and work out of this.
It's on the ground to deep short, as it's a good play by Fabian to put it away, but 1 more run scratched across. We thank Zach Chase for joining us in the booth. What a wacky, fun inning it was here in the 4th. Let's go to the 5th. Again, thank you, Zach Chase, for joining us. 10-6 Hyannis as we go to the 5th.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold. Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
To the 5th we go. New arm for Hyannis. It'll be Tyler LeBlanc, the lefty, making his first appearance on the season. Jack O'Connor's day is done. We'll get you his line momentarily as Tyler LeBlanc warms up.
Yeah, Tyler LeBlanc settles in and comes in with a 6.32 ERA out of the University of New Orleans. Anybody from the Southland Conference? It's the Privateers.
Oh, wow.
A great one there in that one. And came in with a 6.32 ERA through 13 appearances, 11 games started for him, a typical starter for the Privateers, but settles in this situation to try and get his first outing when you've got a little bit of cushion. That's what you like to have, and you get things started in the top of the 5th for this team. Comes in as he also has that coach's mind. He also coaches young players throughout his time in baseball, so he sees it on both sides of the ball from a player, and as a coach, even if you're just at the Little League level, you are still coaching and you are still looking at it. So he's able to have that double mindset here.
Mickey Doolittle back in with us. I'm impressed by that one now. It's been a minute since we've tested your mascot knowledge, and I mean, that's one I'm assuming you knew. You knew that one.
I did know that one. That one is part of one I got stumped on in one of our meetings earlier in the year at Notre Dame, so
you're not forgetting it again.
I'm never forgetting it again.
There you go.
So.
You can fool him once, you can't fool him twice, can you? Not Jacob Irons.
Especially with college mascots, if possible.
No. 0-1 is upstairs to Aiden Miola. Mickey Doolittle back in the booth with us. Again, Assistant General Manager Zach Chase joined us for that wacky, fun, wild 4th inning.
I missed a lot. I'm filling out my book right now.
You really did.
Holy cow. I was watching.
Oh, of course. So 1-2 the count on Aiden Miola. 0 for 2 on the day. Pitch way inside. Has to jump out of the way.
4 runs on 5 hits and 1 left for Chatham back in that 4-run 4th.
So it'll be a 2-2 from LeBlanc. Again, this is his first appearance with Hyannis as the 2-2 is upstairs. Zach Chase talked about it, how it can get hectic sometimes when you're trying to sign guys. The deadline for signing players was just a few days ago, and they needed a few more guys with a few leaving for the draft. And it'll be a full count. Payoff is a fly ball, foul, first base side. Doné gives it a look, and it'll go out of play.
Oh, hit the top of the shipping container out there. Don't know if you could hear that on the crowd mic, but a fun little noise. What?
Miola was the only Chatham angler who did not come to the plate last inning. He'll face another 3-2 from LeBlanc. The payoff fouled almost the same spot again, and we'll do it one more time.
LeBlanc here already in a full count early through his first appearance out here on Cape Cod, and had limited appearances this year.
Slapped out into right center field. That's deep. Cutting over is Taylor. He can't get there. Rounding first is Miola, and he'll stop in at second with a leadoff double. And there you go again. Chatham not going quietly. They try and get themselves back within striking distance.
Take it right into the gap between Earhart and Taylor, and it's the deepest part of the park. That one's a hop off of the warning track there, so you can't do anything about it if you're Earhart or Taylor because you're playing in your traditional outfield position, and then it just hits into the deepest part that it can in that gap. But only holding him to 2 bases there is huge, but LeBlanc's going to have to barrel down here.
That was a fastball out and away, and a good job by hitter to stay within himself.
It's a fly ball to center on the first pitch by White. Over is Earhart to make the play. Tagging is Miola. It's a good throw, and it's just offline as Miola advances on the fly ball to center by White.
Yeah, White does his job there, gets it deep enough and into almost a similar gap, just shallow, so that Earhart had enough time to position himself under it in that spot. And it's a great throw from Earhart. It just pulls Smith away from the bag offline down the third base line a little bit.
It would have been bang bang if it got there in time. That arm on Earhart is a rocket. It is a danger to all base runners.
First pitch to Martin upstairs.
I was about to say, at this point in the game, you're willing to trade runs for outs if you're Hyannis, but we're still only in the top of the 5th. It feels like we're in the 8th.
It's a fly ball to shallow right. York over. He turns and is called off. The runner bluffs the tag. Doné will have to keep it in front and does. That was a good play from Snow to be able to call off York. He wasn't going to make that play. That normally is the second baseman's ball, and it's such a tough play to make it. But Snow makes it look easy, holds the runner at third, and a fly ball no longer scores a run.
Yeah, tracks it all the way in that diagonal part so that he's able to track it with the distance instead of York looking straight up and trying to take 2 steps back. He's able to have a diagonal move on it.
So 2 away for Fabian. Did he go on that pitch? Not quite. LeBlanc had him completely buckled, but he just about held his swing.
Keeps those wrists before breaking them. Down the first base line, says Joe Giasio, the first base umpire in that situation.
1-0 outside to Fabian. 2 for 2, 2 singles and 2 runs.
I think the better question is who doesn't have a hit in this game.
So here's the 2-0. Dunks in for strike 1.
Looked like a slider right there, 80 miles an hour, coming back in to the plate to catch the middle of that one.
2-1 fouled off the end of the bat behind the screen.
Now LeBlanc doing a great job of battling here for this team. After allowing the leadoff guy in Miola to get on, he's fired back with 2 outs.
2-2 upstairs. Count is full on the Chatham shortstop.
Yeah, and you have the open base at first. You're afforded a little bit of leeway here, but the top of the lineup is coming up.
Big pitch here. Here's the payoff. Tapped just foul. Again, Fabian completely fooled. That back foot swung out as he just about got a piece.
Yeah, and if you want to know if a hitter is fooled or not, you got to look at that back foot because that one will just go completely out on a hitter if they are trying to chase a slider low or a curveball.
So runner on third is Miola, as here's the 3-2. Tipped just into the screen again. It feels like LeBlanc is really dominating this at bat, but Fabian just about staying alive with each pitch. As home plate umpire Joe Cruz needs a ball or two more.
As you have to get a restock from the Bat Boys, part of the campers here that were here this week.
They're rotating, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
They are rotating.
There's a couple of frequent flyers with the Harbor Hawks, though.
They get their punch card.
3-2 inside. Good at bat from Fabian to keep himself as well as the inning alive, and that brings up the dangerous J.J. Weatherholt with runners on the corners and 2 out.
Now this is a batter LeBlanc's going to have to be careful with a runner in scoring position. We talked about it with Zach back here. Weatherholt is a team-changing player. When you get him back from Team USA, this is a really large change for this team and allows for a very large bat to be in that leadoff spot. And like we talked about, the speed he possesses as well is really a team-changing leadoff man.
The 0-1 way upstairs. Some chin music for Weatherholt to listen to. 1-1 the count on the West Virginia Mountaineer.
And the Big 12 agreed as he was the Big 12 Player of the Year. So really, when you look at Weatherholt, this is a guy you got to be careful of.
Yeah, I mentioned that he led the nation in batting average with West Virginia this year. Zach Chase talked about he'll probably be a top prospect in next year's draft. As here's the 2-1 to Weatherholt. Again upstairs, cranking the chin music up a little louder. Now 3-1, account leverage for a really solid hitter in Weatherholt. Almost 450 on the year Weatherholt hit.
Yeah, you probably don't want to issue a walk here, although still an open base.
The 3-1, it's a fly ball out to left. Lipsy right there, so despite hard contact, he puts away Weatherholt and strands the runner at third. We're halfway through. I mean, we're about 2 hours in, but we're halfway through from McKeon Park. 10-6 to the Hawks as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Welcome back to McKeon Park, where the lights shine bright all season long. Thanks to the Knack Cape Cod, offering 2 convenient locations on Cape Cod. The Knack is the perfect spot for a burger, taco, or even a milkshake. Visit theknackcapecod.com to order online today. The Knack Cape Cod is the official Light Up the Park sponsor of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Yeah, there we go. Got some furry friends on hand today once again. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, we'll take a look at how these two teams stack up right after we see the leadoff hitter of this inning. Brody Donay has accounted for 6 of the 10 runs scored today. As there, he's hit 2 home runs in his first 2 at-bats.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the first one that went 298. Donay has seen the ball like a beach ball today.
As Donay steps up, 2 homers already to his name.
6 runs batted in this game right now.
A 2-run homer in the second and a grand slam as capping off that 6-run third.
Just goes to show the raw power and potential that Donay has as they peel down to first, no swing. But a guy that has a ton of raw, untapped power, as that 1 home run has become 3 tonight.
And with my quick math, that 8 RBIs has become 14. As here's the 1-0 to the Hokie. He's out in front on that. 1-1 the count.
And Donay has faced Gibson before, comes in batting .500 against Gibson after they saw him earlier in the first Monday of the season where he went .500 against him.
Donay to me is kind of the embodiment of modern baseball. Yes, maybe a high strikeout rate, but he makes up for it with a ton of power, and he's going to crush the ball a lot.
Here's the 1-1. Dunks in for strike 2.
Yeah, off-speed pitch at 75 miles an hour there, fooling him, who thought a little bit about a fastball there, it seemed.
So it'll be a 1-2 on Donay, as aforementioned, 2 homers to his name on the day. He swings and misses. It'll just about catch the ground, and White will throw down to first to retire Donay for his first time today.
Now let's take a look at how these teams statistically compare. BA right now is out in front. We talked about it in the pregame, was Hyannis was getting those ticks up night after night because they're starting to hit the ball really well, doing it here. But their ERA for the Chatham is one of their biggest sore thumbs that sticks out. That's 10th in the league. And if their pitching could keep them in games, they have the hitters there.
Slapped into right field by Snow, and it catch. No, it is. He made the catch. Did Ken? I thought saw it come out, but Caden Ken makes an outstanding play to retire Eric Snow quickly for the second out. Great play, as his father Jeff would be proud.
What a play there, as he's a little shaken up with the athletic training staff coming out to have a conversation with him about how he is at this spot, but he's already waving off the athletic trainer at this spot, so he's going to stay in here and staying firm with 2 away.
Yeah, it looks like he might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him, but what an unbelievable catch. He covers so much ground to get here and lays out full extension and doesn't land on anything awkwardly. It just looks like that wind came out of him, but he's immediately up and okay.
Yeah, putting his body on the line, as he knows, as you said, if the Chatham pitching can keep him in here, they're still within slam range. That could be a big play in this game. So that brings up Lipsy with 2 away after the spectacular catch by Kent out and right. And going back to the stat comp, guys, you talked about it. The average and the OPS both just going up and up and up by the game for Hyannis. As here is the first pitch to the Buckeye. It's outside. We look at that stat comp maybe a week or 2 ago. Those numbers look a lot different, as Hyannis seems to have found their stride, as Lipsy has himself. Though 0 for 2 on the day, he's well above 200 now. 1-0 is a soft fly ball into left center. In comes McDonald, and Schubert calls him off to make the play. First scoreless inning on the day for Hyannis. Let's go to the 6th. 10-6 to the Hawks.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Let's go to the 6th inning. Hey, let's open it up with some trivia. Let's see. In 2010, John Reniger of the Harbor Hawks led the CCBL in batting average. What was the average?
Well, it's not
So
D.
you've given us 3 options here, and it's close. So I'm at the bottom of the pack here.
Maybe there's a population of Joey Gallows in the CCBL that year.
Could you imagine?
Nobody hit above
I'm going to go with C
150.
here. I'm going to go with C.
Give me A. I'll take A.
I'm going. Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to say A because it's nice, but I'm
We'll
going to go
stick
B.
with it. Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to go B.
So let's see.
No.
Do we have a correct answer now? Oh, which one? Oh, it's A.
Very nice.
Let's
All
go.
right. So Mick, you were thinking it, but you went B just to differentiate. All right.
So.
Oh, I'm out of this.
No, 5-5.
Oh, thanks.
2?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely 2. needed the pause there, didn't you?
Yeah, I was able to get back up. Got 5 wins to my name right now.
I've got a mountain to climb.
Still got a lot of baseball left, though.
I know.
Michael, you got to hope for me and Mick here.
It's gonna require an almighty fall from you guys, which I don't think is gonna happen, and an almighty rise from me. I might just have to start studying up.
We got 3 full weeks left in this season.
Yeah, there's
We've
time.
only been
Anything
doing
can
this
happen.
for like a week now.
Anything can happen in baseball. 1-1 tipped into the screen.
It's like paying attention to standings in like April or May.
So it'll be a 1-2 to Kent. We saw him make a nice play to rob Eric Snow of a base hit last inning.
And LeBlanc back out there for a second inning of work.
Donay can't squeeze the foul tip. Yeah, LeBlanc looked good after giving up a leadoff double to Aiden Miola, as well as a 2-out walk to Derek Fabian. He stranded both of them. As it'll be a 1-2 to Kent. LeBlanc deals. He's poked it to the left side. Cam Smith pirouettes and throws. That's just confidence oozing out of the game of Cam Smith. The bat comes alive and everything else comes together. Cam Smith's game has been on full display.
Hit the spin move, Cam Smith. Works himself around, does the 360 to get himself positioned back over to first base and throws high, but York's extension with his frame's able to go up there, grab it, and bring it down, and keeping his tippy toes on the bag to get that out.
Yeah, and more soft contact induced here from LeBlanc. That's the result that he wanted, and Smith made it look pretty.
First pitch goes right down Broadway to Schubert. Yeah, LeBlanc has induced, other than the double, very soft contact tonight. A soft fly ball out to Earhart in center, and a pop to short, as well as a fly ball out to left field. So here's the 1-1. Must have gotten a piece of that. Heard something, yeah.
He barely checked his swing. He was coming around. He barely even started his swing, but that barrel of the bat was just low enough to come down and make a little bit of contact with the bat. It's kind of hard to miss. It kind of looked like it went off of Donay's glove from the broadcast angle.
The 1-2 outside. Donay liked it, though. Count is 2-2.
Yeah, Donay always giving his pitcher props. Kind of just pointing out there, lets him know he made a good pitch.
The 2-2. Snow, backhanded play, fires onto first, and he got him. I mean, we've seen the offense today, and now the defense, too. They're making some good plays. This is still a ball game. These plays necessary as we take another look.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch. Outer third of the plate gets him to softly roll over it, and Snow just spears it and makes that play look really easy. Snow's a guy with shortstop range playing at second base, so he's able to get there just in time.
First pitch catches the inside corner. 0-1 the count on Will Hoyt.
Yeah, and Will Hoyt here in this cleanup spot trying to tack on and see to the best of his ability if he can try and get another runner on. And if you can get Chatham in a situation to have a great spot in this situation to try and get another runner on, because when they get runners on, they've been able to make them count.
He got him. Down goes Will Hoyt looking. A really good inning for Tyler LeBlanc. And before we go to break, let's send it down to the fourth member of our team, Bria Losick, who stands by with some important information about the family of Trey Lipsy.
Thanks, Michael. If you've been to McKeon Park, you've definitely heard Trey Lipsy's grandma in the crowd. She's the loudest one here cheering for every single person. And let me tell you, Trey Lipsy and his grandma's, Connie's relationship is special. Trey said that when he was in high school, he had a really bad knee injury that put him in a wheelchair for a couple months. And his Nana said that, you know, he had so many girls volunteering to wheel him in every day to school, but Trey said, no, my grandma's got it. So every single day, she would take him into school, and she's been supporting him ever since, especially at these Hawks games. She took about a week off to go on a vacation, on a little girls' trip, and she said she watched every single game while she was there. Now she's back in the stands, and before every single game, she sends Trey a prayer and different quotes to help him play well, and also she's definitely the loudest one. Like I said before, she's, you know, just always cheering for every single person, but especially Trey. The first time that he came up to bat tonight, she got up, stood on top of the bleachers, and motioned to the crowd, "Come on, Trey." She wanted everyone to cheer for him, and, you know, that relationship is just so special. I was talking to her earlier and just talked a little bit about Trey, and she could not even get 2 words out before she started tearing up a little bit. The love for her grandson is just so visible, and it's just so special to have her up here. All right, back to you guys.
And there she is. Thank you so much, Bria. What a great report. And she's here. I know my grandma is watching tonight, so big shout out to all grandmothers who watch, and especially to Trey Lipsy's Nana, who has made the trip up here to support her grandson. How about that? And she's got a lot to cheer for. Trey Lipsy's really turned it on as well.
There is nothing more special than a grandparent and grandchild relationship. They are the ones that spoil you. They are the ones that get you. And maybe for my grandfather who's listening at home, maybe got us a slushie from time to time when my mom may have not been a fan of getting us slushies.
Yeah.
But that relationship, you just see, she loves him. And she loves watching him play baseball.
Fouled off Mitchell's foot.
It's just special to see that she still had that commitment, even when she's on a girls' trip, that says, hold on, guys, we got to watch my grandson play tonight, is just really special. And grandparents are your biggest advocates. And that right there is why Trey Lipsy's grandma, Nana, is right there being his advocate every night and does a great job of it. Even working the fans here over, trying to work the fans on that lower bowl bleacher section to be, let's be a Trey Lipsy fan group over here if possible.
Yeah, they let you know. I've got my family is on the way up tomorrow. I'll have grandparents coming up. One set will be coming home. My grandfather, who I hope is watching, he just had a bit of surgery, so he's home recovering. So speedy recovery, hopefully, to you.
Yeah, what better way?
If you're watching, Grampy.
Yeah, what better way to get through a little bit of recovery than with some Cape Cod Baseball League action right now?
Come on. The grandparents at home with me watch nearly every game they can, as does my whole family. As the 0-2 to Mitchell is inside, they will be up. One set of grandparents will be up tomorrow, taking in a game for themselves. And once again, we shout out Nana, Trey Lipsy's Nana, and all grandparents who tune in to the cast tonight. Great report from Bria Losick.
Touching, really is just touching. Great personal stories is what makes this league so special.
Mitchell works to 2-2. Works back on Trey Gibson.
Mitchell trying to work for his third walk right now as he still hasn't had an at-bat. It's only been plate appearances.
Works the count full. That's something he has done really well today. Has worked his at-bats. Got hit in the first, but now on the verge of his third walk of the day. The payoff is a fly ball, fairly deep right center. Kent ranges over but is called off by McDonald, and he puts it away. And in his first at-bat of the day, Mitchell flies out to center.
Yeah, first at-bat. 0 for 1, but it will negate the fact that he has come around to score in his past 3 plate appearances.
Yeah, that's so valuable. Some guys just have that ability to find home plate on the base paths. They'll create chaos, and that's exactly what Mitchell has done. And here's a guy in Zach Earhart that's been able to do it all himself in the last couple of weeks, a pair of home runs.
The first pitch catches the outside corner. Yeah, even though he doesn't have a hit to show for it today, he's put a charge into 2 fly balls out to center field. Catches the outside corner again. Earhart doesn't like it, but he's quickly behind 0-2.
And now with Earhart behind 0-2, you're going to have to switch up your approach here. Go 2 strikes, keep it a little bit lower on that.
Long set from Gibson and the 0-2. He got him. Earhart down looking.
That was great movement on that fastball, kind of just bent back from the outside part of the plate back in and caught the corner. That was a perfect pitch, good arm side run on that fastball at 91 miles an hour.
Yeah, Gibson, since coming in, minus giving up 3 runs, has done a great job, especially in the 5th and now here in the 6th, to try and quiet this active Harbor Hawks lineup.
Has set down 6 straight Hawks.
It's a fly ball to right field. Ranging over is Kent towards the line, and he makes it in fair territory. So now, after all that through the first 4 innings, the Hawks have now been retired 6 straight. Another 1-2-3 inning for Gibson. Let's go to the 7th. It is 10-6 to Hyannis.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
To the 7th we go, and let's remind you the wait is almost over. The Floor & Decor is coming to Hyannis on September 7th. Get ready for unbelievable everyday low prices on tile, wood, stone, laminate, vinyl, installation materials, and more. Our high quality selection cannot be beat. So mark your calendars for September 7th for Floor & Decor's grand opening in Hyannis. At Floor & Decor, you'll discover thousands of in-stock price products at a price you will love. We promise you've never experienced anything like it, but soon you can. Come explore Floor & Decor, opening on Hyannis on September 7th. That brings Dennis Colleran onto the mound. Not a guy you want to see in a 4-run situation. He's been lights out so far this season, despite, as you see, the stats.
Yeah, and missed a large part in all of the early season in the spring for the Huskies, but since coming to the Cape has been really strong. And what brings up his ERA to a 4.50 is he went against Katuitt, gave up only 2 runs, though. Only one of them was earned through 2 innings pitched, so really great work by Colleran so far this year as a great relief pitcher from Northeastern to be in there when you need it.
Every Katuitt run you give up should count as half a run towards your ERA. I mean, they just put so much pressure on a pitcher. We talk about it every broadcast, it feels like. It just doesn't, it shouldn't count.
First pitch zips in for strike 1 on Colleran's day.
ERA plus, OPS plus, whatever. There should be ERA minus Katuitt.
Huh.
Interesting stat, Mickey.
Yeah.
Get me on the advanced analytics board.
Oh,
of the
Ops would love
Harbor
to
Hawks.
have you.
I don't think it's that complicated. I think you just take out a couple games.
Couple innings, yeah. You can take the ERA
Yeah,
with Alcatuit in there.
Nobody thought about it. OPS is a not so complicated stat, and it's just 2 stats added together.
So 1-2 the count on McDonald.
Now Colleran comes in and trying to shut the door.
Now 2-2 the count on Zach McDonald. Reached on an error, walked, and struck out. 3 at-bats in as many innings. 3 plate appearances in as many innings with the walk in the middle.
And the pace of this game has been so weird. The first 4 innings lasted about an hour and 40 minutes. And now we've gotten through 2, and we're only at 2:09.
He got him looking. McDonald down on strikes.
Colleran came in today with home plate due to the weather that was taken on earlier this morning and afternoon. He came in and took a large part of being that leadoff and being in control of being in ground crew in that situation. And he came in, it was grounding and doing a large part of it. And he himself took part in the grounds crew, raked it out himself, and does a great job.
Here's the 0-1 to Miola. There's 94 on our gun that is a little bit volatile in either direction. So we've seen him on the analytics Twitter on social media that he sits around 96, 97, but also does that, mixing in a dangerous slider as well.
And also part of his grounds crew activity today, he was earthing as he had his feet out, no shoes whatsoever.
He zips it past again as Miola down swinging.
And there you notice the home plate area is a darker shade of brown and dirt than the rest of the infield. That's because they put down a bunch of extra dirt to try and dry it out. It was all muddy, it was spongy, and they put down so much of it that it dried it all out. It absorbed all of the water, and credit all of the players, all of the coaches, and all of the grounds crewmen that helped get this game on tonight and perhaps saved our off day on Tuesday.
And this is a perfect example of everyone can do anything and next man up. You had skipper Eric Beatty out there pushing. Now you have your pitcher who's out here appearing in the day. He was out there working on home plate as well. And you had Obermuller in there as well, another pitcher for this team. So everyone is taking part in this grounds crew so that they can be able to play tonight.
Swing and a miss by White.
Speaking of canceled games and postponed games, here's a stat for you.
Here we go.
Chatham has more games postponed with 9 this year than they've won with
Whoa.
7.
Now that's a stat. Wow.
And that's the Veterans Field factor right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the fog they face coming in because they're only a couple steps away from the ocean, and right as Chatham's on the end, if you want to hold out your elbow, they're all the way at the elbow of Cape Cod.
2-2 is a fly ball to center. Ranging over is Earhart. He puts it away. Dominant first inning of relief for Dennis Colleran. Time to stretch. A long overdue time to stretch here at McKeon Park as we go to the bottom of the 7th. 10-6 Hyannis.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-all, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
Oh, 7th inning stretch. You know what that means. Time for a little chicken dance from the writers and time to go around the league with us up here in the booth as the writers get down to the chicken dance.
Oh, let's go around the CCBL. YD in Brewster was postponed earlier today. Katuitt taking care of business over Falmouth, ending their win streak as Katuitt continues to stay hot, 12-5. That's a final. Harwich beats down on the Gateman 4-1. That's a final as well. Orleans takes down Bourne 4-2. That is another final. Because of this delay, we're sitting here in the bottom of the 7th, Hyannis leading 10-6.
And I want you to pay extra attention to Orleans-Bourne because that result is huge in Hyannis' scheme, because this would mean if they were to hold on to this game, knock on wood, that they would shoot into 2nd place in the West.
Yeah, it would be a large jump, and a jump that they have come on in the last couple days. Even got a tag along there in that one. It's, they call it quits there. They're done on that.
Mike Maynard didn't.
Alex Lane will start the inning to pinch it. They even had a guest down there as Bria Losick was doing the spin with a fan down there. Nice to see everybody getting involved now. Bria would have been alone. Good to save her from it. So Alex Lane comes in to start off the bottom of the 7th in a pinch hit appearance against Trey Gibson.
After imagine with Zach York being the first baseman and Lane being a first baseman, this will be a straight substitution there in that situation for him to come in and be defensive.
That, and what a great platoon bat that Alex Lane can be. He can be the guy that comes in and faces some lefties, as there are great photographers at work editing their pictures. You'll see those in our thumbnails tonight.
Yeah, Diana was able to help me take great pictures for something I had to send back home. So got to thank her for doing all that work. She even got the photo cred in the newspaper back at home. So I got to thank her. She was quick on it, too. When I asked her, she took me down to the field. We took 2 steps. I was like, these are perfect. Thanks.
That's my kind of photo shoot right
exactly. Yeah, Jordan and Diana, our team photographers, working hard. So it'll be a 3-1 on Lane.
And as I was saying, Lane and York, what a great platoon, because Lane can come in and face lefties. They play the same position. They're very similar hitters as well. Lane with good gap-to-gap power. York as well. They both control the strike zone very well.
It'll be a full count worked by Lane. He swung at the 3-1 and missed it. So Gibson now in to eat some innings. But if he can keep him at bay, could keep Chatham in this. As it's a line drive down the right field line, it's a base hit and rolls into the corner. Lane rounds first, he'll dig for second, and he will stop right there with a leadoff double. That's great piece of hitting from Alex Lane to come in that pinch hit appearance, as we'll take another look.
Yeah, so you're going to see it right here. That pitch coming in on the outer third of the plate. Great job to not try and pull it, not do too much with it, and just slap it the other way. Got it down the line and showing off the afterburners, getting into second.
Yeah, taking the pitch where it was given to you is huge there for Lane to be able to stand in at second, put a runner on, nobody out, with now Will Taylor up to bat.
This game's still within slam range, so there is still incentive to be scoring runs here if you're Hyannis. They've gone down 6 in a row before Lane's double, as Taylor hacks and misses.
With run differential, there's always incentive to score runs, as there you see the numbers on Will Taylor, and he's been hit by 2 pitches tonight alone.
Yeah, stands in at a lone second in the league, with Lipsy leading at first, and he'll stand at second with 9 on the year.
The 0-1 is on the ground to third. Lane stays put as Miola fires across to retire Taylor. Just want to harken back to Taylor real quick and how important that is, that Lipsy and Taylor getting hit by pitches. He scored on that second one in the third, so we talk about manufacturing runs all season long. That's how they do it. It might hurt a little bit more, but it'll feel all the more better when you score a run on those plays.
They got ice in there.
Oh, yeah.
If it's on the Ebo shield and it leaves a little bit of bruise, he takes one for his team. And like we talked about, although he's focusing on baseball as a football player through and through, so has that grit and has that toughness to take it.
Yeah, he's taking a bruising or two. That's lined into left center and a base hit for Hainline. Lane will hold at third. Now runners on the corners and one man out via the single from Elijah Hainline, as he is now 1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, and that'll bring up Brody Donay with a couple of ducks on the pond. And we know what he can do. A pair of home runs to his name today. One in the second, a 2-run shot, and then nearly to the same spot in the third, a grand slam.
And there, as you mentioned, Mickey, I'm not the best at math, but that amounts to 6 of the 10 RBIs coming on the Hawks' day, all on 2 swings by Donay. Wave and a miss by Donay. Good quick math from Grant McNew. It's Donay 6 and Chatham 6 on the day.
Play a game himself right now, but he's got the entire team behind him contributing, like you saw with that big hit from Lane, now standing at third. Full team effort right now.
Here's the 0-1. There goes Taylor. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. Not in time. It'll get into the outfield, and that will allow Lane to score. Taylor dashes on to third. And Donay creates a bit of havoc by swinging and missing. Who knew he could do it? He swings and miss. Count is 0-2. But now Hyannis leads 11-6 after the throw gets into center.
And that's one of those situations where it's a risk by White to throw down, but Fabian couldn't corral it in front of him as a throw that trickles away in that situation. But Marty Lee's out to have a conversation with home plate umpire Joe Cruz here. Maybe it's a batter's interference in the box that he wants a little bit of help from, and that's what he's asking for, to see if there's anything there blocking and impeding the throw of White in that situation.
And no conference here. Typically, if you see a manager come out and start arguing, sometimes you'll see the umpires conference together, but Joe Cruz seemed confident in that decision.
Do beg your pardon that it is Hainline, not Taylor, running from first to third. So he'll get the stolen base and then advance to third on the E2. So the count is 0-2 on Donay. Way behind him, and he's hit him. Give it to me, guys.
41.
41 for Hyannis on the season. And yeah, they've certainly got ice. So 2 homers, a strikeout, and a hit by pitch. Just about as 3 true outcome as it gets from Brody Donay on the day.
Just finding a way to get aboard. He has been really good today. And here comes Eric Snow.
Snow was robbed of a hit in the 5th by a nice diving play by Caden Kent out in right field. Runners are back on the corners. Good cut from Snow as he sends it into the screen.
So Eric Snow stands in 0 for 3 day for him, but he was robbed of a hit in the 5th by Kent after laying out for one. Got the wind knocked out of him, but got up safely.
Wave and a miss at the 0-1. Quickly behind 0-2 is Snow.
And Brody Donay's 6 runs batted in this game has tied the season high in a single game with Cole Mathis of Katuitt at 6.
Who did it yesterday versus Wareham on the 13th of July.
He also ties the single game mark, I assume that's held by a couple of people with 2 home runs in a game. But we do know that Tanner Thatch of Katuitt did it on June 16th.
Swing and a miss. Snow down on strikes.
Left fielder from Ohio State, number 2, Trey Lipsy.
Yeah, good pitch there. Getting Snow down on strikes and keeping this game within 5. So here's Lipsy, who hasn't reached base today, which has been pretty uncharacteristic of him over the last week or 2. He's found ways to get on. He had that triple yesterday, a couple of walks as well.
Gibson now steps off.
You know what he also did yesterday?
Tell me.
He got hit by a pitch.
Oh, really?
Because he, for some reason, always get hits by pitches.
The first pitch to Lipsy inside. Mitchell due up after this. So runners are on the corners. Hyannis has kept the traffic going. 1-0 is a soft fly ball into right. That's a base hit. That will score Hainline. On to third is Donay. He comes in with the throw cut off. That one's for you, Nana. An RBI single for Lipsy. Now 12-6 to Hyannis.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there from Lipsy and getting it there. And Lipsy does a great job finding it and pushing it down the line there. And putting it down that corner to allow in that situation for Hainline to be able to score. And now Donay's able to advance over in time. And look at that smile on Nana's face. She's pointing around. She knows how big that hit is for this team. And that's going to do it for Gibson's night as we'll take a break here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Nana smiling.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
So Trey Lipsy knocks Trey Gibson out of the game, gets Nana smiling, and that will bring in Xander Sechrist.
Xander Sechrist has only appeared in one game so far, has a 45 ERA, where he only pitched an inning, gave up 7 runs. 5 of them were earned off 6 hits and 2 walks, and faced 12 batters in that. But that's all the way back on June 29th. He comes back out here and gets a new shot and a new day to try and keep his anglers in this game at this spot in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, this is something that we've seen over the last few games with Chatham, is that they've had a bit of a switch now, JJ Weatherholt included, being coming back from Team USA, and they've stayed in games. That 2-run third and the 4-run fourth kept it within slam range for just a little bit of time, but now the 2 runs here are actually a lot more valuable than they may seem, because now that they've got them doubled up, it's going to be a lot more comfortable from here on out now that they're out of slam range.
Yeah, and you can sort of just cruise and just ask your pitchers to eat some innings, as there you see the lines on this game. Hyannis only 9 hits on the day, but hits don't count for walks because they've drawn a lot of them today, and they've also been hit by a couple of pitches.
They have, and they've done a good job of manufacturing runs when they've gotten on. You're not leaving too many on today.
That brings up Mitchell. They'll check on Lipsy at first.
Hey, you have 2 outs here, 2 on. Donay got on with the hit by pitch. He stands at third, and then Lipsy with that big single to bring in Hainline at first. And with Lipsy's speed, maybe watch a double steal.
Outside to Mitchell. So 12-6 the score here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 runs have crossed. Now out of slam range for Chatham to try and come back from. As here's the 1-0 to Mitchell. It's outside. He flew out to center in the 6th, but before that he was hit in the 1st and then walked in the 3rd and 4th, and all 3 of those times he came around to score. As here's the 2-0. Outside again. Now 3-0. Quickly behind is Sechrist.
The line today closed on Gibson, 4 1/3, 6 hits on 5 runs, only 4 of those earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts.
The runners on the corners are Gibson's responsibility. So should both of them score, those will go on Gibson's ledger. As here's the 3-1, ripped into right field. It's a base hit. That will score Donay. Holding at second is Lipsy. It's an RBI single for Mitchell, now 13-6 to Hyannis.
Coming into today, Hyannis was only batting .208 with 2 outs in scoring position and does a great job of getting one there.
Yeah, got a fastball center cut here, just stayed within himself. He went kind of diving out over that plate. You could tell he was leaning just a little bit. He was expecting a fastball that he could get extended on, and he did not miss it.
That brings up Earhart, who seems to be itching to get in on the action. As that pitch gets away from White, no movement on the base paths.
Yeah, White keeps it in front of him. Even with Lipsy's speed, we've seen White's arm behind home plate that it would be tough to try and work it through.
So on the day, Earhart and Snow are the only 2 Harbor Hawks without a hit. As here will be the 1-0 from Sechrist to Earhart. It's inside. So runners on first and second for Earhart, who's hitting right around 350 coming into today in his last 10 games. As here's the 2-0. Catches the outside corner.
Yeah, thought about that one. Trying to protect that outer third of the plate, but decided there wasn't much that he could do with that one, a 50-50 ball that he just let go by. And that's what coaches will tell you to do. If you can't do anything with it and you're ahead in the count, just let it go by.
2-1 on the inside corner again. Frustrated there. We saw him after he struck out looking last time up, and he was really frustrated. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He said last night that that's the kind of guy he's always been. Why not wear your heart on your sleeve if it's what you love doing? As the 2-2 fouled into the screen.
What a great interview he was, and just understanding that I'm going to give everything I got. I'm going to give 110% no matter what I do, whether I'm playing for Oklahoma State or whether I'm playing here. He is giving everything he has no matter the situation.
The 2-2, fly ball to the right side, foul territory. Over is Will Hoyt, and he puts it away to end the inning. But 3 more runs come across for Hyannis to put it out of slam range. Let's go to the 8th, 13-6 to Hyannis here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold. Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
To the 8th we go, 13-6 to Hyannis. It's been an entertaining game so far, and let's see what they've got coming up to keep themselves entertained.
Yeah, they'll take on Bourne here at home and then go to Harwich at White House Field, the home of the Cat Milton All-Star game in a couple of weeks on the 22nd. Then they'll come back home for Falmouth, and then they go on a 2-game road stand out in the East Division taking on YD and Orleans.
So how important is tomorrow now against Bourne? I mean, we'll check on the scores again. They were losing the last time we saw. They jump 2 points above if they win tonight, as well as Bourne losing. That is a final, Nico Sharp. So they did drop tonight's game. So they hold on here, jump 2 points ahead of Bourne. They win tomorrow, and they're 4 points ahead. And that is a really big cushion, especially the deficit they were facing just about a week and a half ago.
But you have to imagine Bourne's going to come in here ready to play tomorrow. Because they also lost in a tough one here at McKeon Park a little bit of a week ago. So in that situation, they're going to come out really strong, and they're going to be ready if this score holds.
Yeah, I mean, you harken back to that 4-3 walk-off victory for Hyannis. That's a very winnable game for either team. Maybe before that game you don't think the Hawks may win that, but something has turned on for them, as we've said, as the first pitch is wrapped to third. Smith up with it, fires, and puts away the first out.
Yeah, and it feels like every time Bourne and Hyannis play, as that was a really nice play by Smith, but every time Bourne and Hyannis play, it feels like it's a really close game. The last two have come down to what felt like the final out.
They really have, and come back here to McKeon Park. So, like you said, those head-to-heads are huge, especially to be able to get a strong footing out in front in those standings, to stand firm at second. And while it's still early with 3 weeks left to play, there's a lot to have, but if you can have that lead for a little bit, it's able to be more of a mental game than anything.
Yeah, and continue to build that lead a little bit once you get it. Don't allow them to stick around, as we kind of saw that at the top of the East this year with YD and Harwich, but finally it feels like YD is starting to separate themselves from the pack. Of course, with their slugging first baseman Hunter Hines, 9 home runs already on the year. Next closest is whole pack of 4.
0-2 lined into left center over the leaping try of Hainline for a base hit. So Fabian reaches. He's 3 for 3 with a walk on the day. Worth noting that Bryce Martin was just pinch hit for. The 5-3 ground out goes to the credit of Lyle Miller Green. That will turn the lineup card over for J.J. Weatherholt.
And Weatherholt has a single that he was able to come around and score in the fourth. However, it's been quiet for the most part today. They're coming back in his first game back after his time with USA Baseball.
Takes the first pitch low. Now that's a punch that you are going to really like if you're Chatham going in to these next few games. If Fabian stays at the bottom of the lineup there and sets up Weatherholt, that could bode really well. They check on Fabian over at first, as Lane is the natural replacement over at first for Zach York.
And the infield will come in to double play depth, although Eric Snow is playing very far off to the right. There you see it. He's playing right in between first and second base. Playing him to pull just a little bit.
And that'll allow Hainline to shield up the middle. Would be a interesting play if it goes up that middle between them to see who gets it. As here's the 2-2 to Weatherholt. It's low. Yeah, we talked about it. What a guy to be able to go to Team USA and then just want to come back just for extra reps. I mean, this is a guy that led the nation in average, said it a few times now, but just to get those extra reps with the wood bat in, he's going to be a top prospect for next year, so anything just to get his stock a little further up.
And this shows his commitment to the game as well.
As he works a walk. And even this late in the game, he reached on an error in the third and doubled and scored in the fourth. He's still working himself around trying to keep Chatham in this game.
Yeah, and facing the best pitching there is to offer in the collegiate ranks is certainly not a bad way to get those at-bats, as the 2-hole hitter Caden Kent will come to the plate.
Kent has reached base 3 times today.
And a pinch runner.
And there will be a pinch runner, yes, for Weatherholt. We'll give it to you in just a moment. I believe it's Xavier Casarilla who is in for Weatherholt. So first and second, one man out. Now the pinch hitter, or the pinch runner, beg your pardon, is Casarilla at first for Weatherholt. So his night is done as Kent swings and misses.
Yeah, and Colleran running into a bit of trouble here. Got to refocus a little bit after the single and the walk. Trying to give this bullpen and this team a little more length.
But you still have that double play possibility here with 2 on, and you're going to see Hainline shift over more to that second base to be able to hold Fabian on.
Slapped into the screen only just about. And the count is now 1-2.
Yeah, look out at the Hyannis dugout down there. They had to try and dive out of the way of that one.
As Donay comes out to have a conversation with Colleran here.
And typically when you see the home plate umpire go out with Donay, it might be a signs type deal. And he's going to wave off there. That little signal right there. He's not going to charge him a mound visit, as the runner at second perhaps playing a factor into that. Fabian could be stealing the signs, which is completely legal. You're allowed to steal signs with the eye.
And Cruz giving them that opportunity to go out there, have that conversation without charging them with that spot.
Here's the 1-2 to Kent. It's on the ground to Snow. This could be 2. On to 1. Hainline to first. Just safe. And that could have ended the inning in style. They do get the runner, Casarilla, at second. But because they don't turn the double play, the inning continues with Kent reaching at first and Fabian advancing to third.
But now you have 2 away if you're Colleran and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Got to focus on Schubert here, who against Colleran back in the 6th, grounded to Snow.
So runners on the corners with 2 out for Colleran. Again, how you work your colors here as a pitcher. Sits 94 on our radar gun, which I've said is a bit volatile. You could say that it goes a bit low. We've seen him sit around 96, top out, believe at 97 once or twice this season. He sits 94 again. Now 2-0.
Yeah, and keep attacking here, as this is a 7-run lead, but that, if you can get a couple here, you might come out in the 9th rejuvenated if you're Chatham.
Give it the old Hyannis Harbor Hawks approach.
Oh, yeah.
As he fouls a third base side out of play.
But now Colleran able to work in, get a strike in here in this situation.
Woo.
The lines shine at McKeon Park.
Brought to you by the Nat Cape Cod.
Yeah, the Nat Cape Cod. 2-1 swung on and missed.
Nice pitch.
And that's what else Colleran can do when he pulls that string. A 95, 96 mile an hour mixed in with that is just untouchable.
It really is untouchable when you have that sequencing that you can be able to work and just be able to be effective with it.
The 2-2 slapped foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on here in the top of the 8th. It's been quite some contest, too.
Schubert, a .223 hitter.
It's upstairs, now the count full, as it'll be Kent with a head start from first.
Back to that fielder's choice that Hyannis was able to turn. That middle infield is looking like they're warming up to each other, getting that chemistry a lot better.
That's fouled off, and we'll do it again.
It's just becoming more and more smooth as you see Eric Snow kind of move into that second base role a little bit more now. Again, a guy that can play shortstop, and Hainline a true shortstop. So 2 guys that have a ton of experience playing in the middle infield.
And they've got John Gazdar on the bench
yeah.
who can also do both. As home plate umpire Joe Cruz will give Schubert some time to adjust his goggles, his glasses he's wearing. So it's a full count. Kent will get a head start from first. A walk loads the bases, or a ball loads the bases, a strike ends the inning. As here's the payoff from Colleran. He swings and misses. Schubert down on strikes, and the corners are stranded. To the bottom of the 8th we go, 13-6 Hyannis on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It Seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. That's a fun score with 13-6
Football
being
score.
flashed. Yeah, 13-6 is a football score, absolutely. As the new pitcher coming into pitch is Zach Harris.
Yeah, Zach Harris comes in here for this team to try and close the door and give his team an opportunity in the top of the 9th. Has appeared in 2 games. He's only pitched 2 innings, though, and hasn't given up an earned run yet. As he's from Georgia Southern and the Eagles. He's going into his sophomore year. Only has 1 hit so far.
So just to get 3 more outs for Chatham. They are down 7 right now, just in an attempt to just hold just to hold a few more arms in the bullpen. Cam Smith will lead this inning off. He was the only batter to not appear in the 7th inning. There have been quite a few innings where it's just been huge innings overall. The 7th being one. In the 3rd, they sent 9 batters to the plate. As there you see Cam.
Cam, a guy that is 1 for 3 today, and it almost feels like in a game like this, you have to preface that with he's only 1 for 3 because everybody's getting in on it, but he also had that sacrifice fly in the 1st. He's been having productive outs and been hitting the ball really hard.
Yeah, hitting the ball really hard. Comes in 4th in the Cape Cod Baseball League in batting average with .317. A really strong batter Smith has been since being on the Cape, and he's a guy that's been here since the start of this season back on June and continues to be a large part of this team.
Yeah, the 4th member of our team, Bria Losick, caught up with Trey Lipsy and his Nana earlier. He had a fan section of his own going for the last week or so. This is the first time they have not been in, as his grandparents were also in town. So it's becoming, it's exactly what this is. It's just all about family and seeing the players and seeing their families getting such nice stories in on our broadcast. And we love being able to shout out all the families involved with this program.
It's not a bad place to visit.
Oh, man. I mean, I would argue the best.
You could be in South Dakota.
In South Dakota.
The Minot Hot Tots out there, Bismarck Larks.
Yeah.
In the Northwoods
the
League.
Northwoods League.
I got a friend working at the Bismarck Larks.
Okay.
The Spearfish Sasquatch.
I mean, those are the best names out there. See, I'm not as familiar with the Northwoods League. I mean, of course, I know it here, but I know it exists. I just don't know as many of the teams up there. But as I'm quickly realizing with the affiliations of the players, that there's some names out there.
There's 26 teams
really?
in the Northwoods League.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's a full league out there.
Wow.
It obviously has its advantages and disadvantages, but it feels like a minor league schedule. It feels like you have that grind. You're traveling all over the place, and here it's awesome because you're going up and down Cape Cod. You get to go to the beach on your off days.
It's amazing. The travel here cannot be beat. The worst drive is 45 minutes over the bridge to Wareham. I love the travel as a guy that did it last year.
You know Jacob Irons.
I do. To get on a coach bus this year, and I can drive myself just over the bridge and still be home before midnight most nights is amazing.
Well, this is 45 minutes in either way without traffic, though. The traffic is crazy here. It'll be a 2-1 count to Smith. Sees it sit in, count even at 2.
You had to take a boat to one of the games last year, didn't
what?
you?
We had a team on Martha's Vineyard, part of the NECBL. It's going to be a 3-1 count here. But it was a crazy experience, the Martha's Vineyard. So we used to take it out of Falmouth. for that one as Smith works that walk there. But it was crazy. So you take the ferry over through the Steamship Authority, and that would be around 3 o'clock. Their games started at 7 o'clock on the island. But then games normally go, let's say, 2 hours and 45 minutes. We would miss the last ferry back, which was at 9 o'clock. So instead of taking the regular ferry, we would take a fisherman boat. When I mean a true fisherman boat, it had the nets out the side, and you would ride it back with the umpiring crew as well, with your full team that traveled. And
I didn't know about the umpire.
Yep, the umpires were right there with you on that trip. And let me just tell you, in June,
there's a base hit to right field for Lane as Smith wheels around second. He'll come into third standing. Great pinch hit appearance for Alex Lane. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2, and getting another guy in scoring position in Cam Smith with his speed, able to jump on it. Look at this pitch. He's able to work it on the outer part of the plate and puts it right into right field again, doing a great job. It's almost replication of what happened again last time.
Got some deja vu right here.
Yeah. Now up steps Taylor. Enough about this. I want to continue to hear about how you got back on a fisherman's boat.
Well, Will Taylor can attest about, might be seeing whales out there in that sound sometimes as he has had the Will Whale call come on countless times throughout this year behind our production team. But it's a crazy experience, sometimes summer college baseball at times, of just traveling on that ferry, and it gets wild, especially at night. If the water's choppy, you would always be watching the wind as you were finishing the game, because you never wanted that night to be choppy, or you're seeing Whitecaps out there in a little bit of a ship.
I'm getting seasick just thinking about that. I don't do good with motion sickness.
Well, that was not the place for you then last year.
I'm glad. I'm glad I wasn't out there.
One of my good friends throughout the league, their broadcaster, you take that every day if you're on Martha's Vineyard, unless you're home.
It's on the ground, too short. He fields it on a hop and will not complete the double play. So they get the out at second, does Fabian, and the run will score in the form of Smith. So Taylor will get a run to his name, now 14-6 to Hyannis.
Once again, a great quality at bat. Taylor able to do what he needs to do to be able to bring in a run there.
Yeah, and showing off that wide receiver speed down the first base line.
First pitch to Hainline dips in for strike one. You were talking about going on a boat. I thought you were talking about the Northwoods League just because it was in such close proximity. I was like, I didn't think you worked for them last year. I didn't even think it was possible to be getting a boat in there.
There's not a lot of water.
That's what I was saying. That's why I was really confused.
No, worked in the NECBL, the New England Collegiate Baseball League.
In close proximity to us here on Cape Cod.
Aren't there Northwoods League teams in Michigan, though?
Northwood, yeah, there are.
That's
You have the Traverse City Pit Spitters. You have the Kalamazoo Growlers.
Yes, Kalamazoo. I forgot about
that. That's a great name.
Trey Lipsy played for them last year, and where he was able to earn a lot of his chops.
There goes Taylor, and it's a hit and run to the utmost of succession, but they'll hold Taylor at second. A hard, clean single for Hainline, his second on the day, and he is 2 for 3.
You know what I discovered today?
Let's hear it.
There's a Juneshine restaurant in New York.
A what?
Juneshine restaurant.
Juneshine restaurant?
Yeah.
What's that?
Like the brand.
I could, if you say so. It's not something I know. Well, what is it?
It's just a drink.
Oh, it's a drink. Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. It's like seeing like a Pepsi restaurant.
First pitch to Donay drops in. They have a Coca-Cola restaurant in Las Vegas.
Huh.
They do. I went to it when I was there with my family a few years ago. Pretty cool. Pretty cool place. Everything red and white Coca-Cola theme, decked out.
The more you know.
Yeah. Now I've got something to go to, to look forward to when I go back home. As the pitch to Donay, he shatters his bat. That's a really nice play out at second by Casarilla to snare that from going back up the middle.
Yeah, Maldonado came in
Maldonado, sorry.
Came in to make that defensive adjustment in that situation. Does a great job to lay out for and really lean out and take his momentum away from him to make that grab. And got 2 away here. Harborhawks still looking for more, though.
Another question for you guys.
Yeah.
Whose phone keeps blowing up on the desk?
Probably all
It's
of
been
ours.
for the last like 3 days.
I think it's me. I have a longer text tone.
I got do not disturb.
That's probably me. I'll keep it in my pocket now.
Robbie, our
It's
scoreboard
Robbie?
operator.
It is?
Whoa, blowing
Wow.
up over there.
I threw myself under the bus because I'm getting texts in our broadcast group chat that we have, and I have a longer text tone because I won't be able to feel it in my pocket if I don't have that. As Snow is one of 2 Harborhawks who don't have a hit on the day, so extra incentive here in this at-bat could stretch the lead as well. The 1-0 is a weak grounder to short and third, and then nobody gets it, and this is going to allow Taylor to score as it gets underneath both Miola and Fabian. We'll see how they rule it. No glove was touched, so they could give this as a hit to Snow, but now 15-6, the Hawks lead.
15-6 here, big one here. So Marty Lees is going to come out and have a conversation with his team, and I think that might do it, or rather have a conversation. Nope. He points, but this will make a pitching change, but it's because of this hit from Eric Snow that works Harris out of the game. A miscommunication between Miola and Fabian allows a big score in Taylor to come in. We're going to the bottom of the 8th with a pitching change ensuing.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Georgia Southern Fly Eagles. Zach Harris is in to get the final out of the bottom of the 8th, with now Hyannis leading 15-6 on the evening.
Gavin Bross-Oskai from Kalamazoo, Michigan now comes in, as Harris was in previously, and has a 0.0 ERA through 1 games played. Has 1 hit to his name, and that appearance came back just a day ago. Yesterday, didn't even finish the inning as he gave up 1 hit. So able to come back out here today a day later. Gavin Brasowski comes out and settles in to try and work out of the jam with 2 outs here.
Yeah, my apologies. I thought I had clicked on the page for Brasowski, and I just didn't. It's a long game, guys. It's been a very long game, so my apologies. It is Brasowski in. I was so ready to come back with that, too. That's such a shame. I gave it a lot. Just trying to keep the enthusiasm up in here.
Enthusiasm is up.
Yeah.
Able to get to play baseball today after delaying the game to a 7 o'clock start. That's why we're sticking with you a little bit longer. You might be wondering, 10 o'clock and we're still rolling. Started at 7 o'clock today due to field maintenance to get this thing playable, and we're able to get it done today and get this game in the books.
Shades of last year without the pitch clock, starting at 6 o'clock, ending at 10. 4-hour games were pretty commonplace. Guys, I don't know about you, but I am so glad the pitch clock is here. Especially in situations like this.
Here's the 1-0 to Trey Lipsy, swing and a miss. So Lipsy recorded an RBI single last inning. They give the hit to Eric Snow, by the way. So now Zach Earhart is the only Harbor Hawk without a hit on the day. 15 runs on only 13 hits for Hyannis. Walks and hit by pitches has been the name of the game today, as well as hits, too, as Lipsy nubs it foul.
So trying to take advantage here runners on the corners and bring in a couple more. Only leading by 9 here for Hyannis would help your run differential. Came in -1 today. As we talk about, that run differential is huge because that's the breaking point if you're tied with the team.
Swing and a miss. Lipsy goes down swinging, but 2 more runs come across to make it 15-6. A big deficit for Chatham to have to face as they get their last licks right after this.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Last licks for Chatham here in the top of the 9th, and to finish things off, Hyannis will bring on Cade Obermuller.
Cade Obermuller comes out, part of the team that was working on the dirt to get this thing playable today. He comes in an appearance, has that amazing K to walk ratio, 15-5. He was eager to get out here and play today in the situation that it was in, and did all he had with all the help to make it playable, and he's able to play on it himself with a 3.72 ERA, and a guy that commands the zone. And Hyannis, after Michael Rodriguez was drafted, still looking for a little bit of a guy that they can go to shut the door at times.
Yeah, a guy that, again, brings a lot of funk to this pitching staff. He's going to bring you a different look. A lefty that has a lot of movement, kind of that 3/4 release. It's going to be really tough to hit him.
Yeah, we last saw Obermuller against Bourne. He had a rare blow-up outing. He's been really, really good otherwise this season. And he will be called on to get the final 3 outs here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah. Hyannis, after starting the game with 10 runs on 6 hits, those hits have started to catch up a little bit. 15 runs on 13 hits now. And how good does this feel if you're Hyannis to put up a massively crooked number in your runs column today? Something that they haven't really done all year. Yeah, they scored 9 a couple of days ago, but now it's just good to keep piling on.
What I like about this game is that it's been finished. There have been a few games, namely the one against Chatham, where the score was 7-4 after, I believe, 4 or 5 innings. That's a game that you assume they'll win.
Yeah.
And they get to finish this one out and completely pile it on and just give themselves even more confidence. Of course, a win is a win, but being able to carry through, we wouldn't have seen, if this game was canceled, probably not have seen a 3-run 7th and a 2-run 8th. So Hyannis could have been left wondering how much more they could have gotten.
Now. It's not over yet.
No, it's never over until it's over.
The fog could come pouring in out of nowhere.
This is the same we were down. Oh, no, it's yeah, it was. No, it's not.
So it'll be a 1-2 to Trace Wilhoit. Obermuller sets and deals, lined foul down the third base line. But now that you've come through and seen it fully, the fog does somehow come in, and, well, the Hawks still don't get their last ups because they're up by 9 after all. So a full, complete offensive game for Hyannis is one of my favorite parts about this.
The Hawks are hot.
Yeah, leaving absolutely nothing left to be desired. Everything off the table. As here's the 1-2, swing and a miss as Wilhoit goes down swinging.
97 on the gun. Wow. That's nearly impossible to catch up to.
Your hands can't get around quick enough. We talked about Zach Earhart's hands and being there where you got to get them up, but 97, I don't know. That one, you got to be knowing that you are swinging at that spot, but by the time it's out of his hand.
First pitch outside to McDonald.
Yeah, and that 97-mile-an-hour fastball, that was his reach-back velocity right there. That was about as hard as he'll throw it right now. That one was sat at 95.
The 1-0 zips in just low. Seeing a bit of an uptick here from Obermueller in velocity.
Yeah. That's always a good sign.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, with a 9-run lead, he can test anything out that he wants to here. As it'll be a 2-0 to McDonald. Obermueller rocks, sets and deals, swing and a miss.
Typically your first sign of a pitcher either struggling or hurt is whether that velo is down or not. And right now Obermueller's velo is up, which probably means the opposite.
Yeah, first thing of a good sign. Maybe Obermueller's found something, as here's the 2-1. Hack and a miss, probably around 96, 97 miles an hour.
96.
Obermueller shaking off a couple signs here from Donay. I think he's going to go fastball here again.
The 2-2. He sure did. Swing and a miss. Down goes McDonald swinging. Gas again from Obermueller.
98.
What a pitch from Obermueller. This is great speed from Obermueller. We talked about it. Could Hyannis find a guy that they could go to try and close things out? Cato Obermueller making a case for himself to be that guy.
So Chatham down to their final out, and it's in the form of Aiden Miola. First pitch taken, strike one.
3 straight anglers have been set down on strikes.
Here's the 0-1 from Obi. It's on the ground to third. Smith fields, throws in time. Ball game. Hyannis wins a wacky, funky game by the final score of 15-6.
This game was all kinds of crazy and all kinds of silly, and Hyannis finally gets their big blowout on the year. They put up a crooked number in the runs column. Finally, they put up 6 in the third. They keep the pedal to the metal all throughout the game, scoring in all sorts of different ways. And right now, you got to think that the player of the game is Brody Donay.
Brody Donay, 2 home runs, 1 being a grand slam, able to bring in 6 runs of his own. A great showing from Donay, and a welcome back to the lineup. And Hawks get a big one tomorrow against Bourne, which is highly anticipated for the West standings.
And now, in disappearing in all of this big blowout stuff is the 4 scoreless innings, from 2 from LeBlanc and 2 from Colleran, to keep these guys off the board and blanking Chatham after their 2-run third and 4-run fourth. So great stuff again from the bullpen to be able to hold it down and keep it scoreless.
Kate Obermueller was as sharp as he has ever been this year, and he came in and just dealt 2 strikeouts and a ground out. That was one of the more dominant performances we've seen all year.
Dominant performance indeed, and everyone was contributing today. That's what made this thing. It was a complete game on both sides.
On both sides of the ball, indeed. 15 runs on 13 hits for Hyannis to go along with 3 errors. 6, 8, and 1 for Chatham. That'll do it for us from McKeon Park here tonight. For my partners, Jacob Irons and Mickey Doolittle. For our producers, Grant McNew, Nico Sharp, and Josh Schreiber. My name is Michael Kirsting, signing off from McKeon Park. We'll be back here, right here tomorrow, for a big one against Bourne. Once again, your final score, 15-6 from McKeon Park. Have a good night, everybody.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations. With 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future, T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.